I remember there was a time when we was kings and queens, prophets and rulers, judging the earth. But now we stuck at the bottom of the totem pole. Where did we go wrong as a people? I think our people need to understand. So bring it.
When it rise up, open your eyes up, looking in the mirror, it gets so clearer. Stand our own self out they soul, dream thing, chasing, but not like foes.
Shalom. Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m. Friday 6 to 9 p.m. Saturday morning Sabbath class from 10 to 2 p.m. And we have our kids class from 11 to 12, which is postponed until September. If you're in the San Antonio area, we have a school at 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas, 78217. We also have a school in Albuquerque, New Mexico, at 501 Copper Ave, Northwest, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87102. Okay. To watch our live classes, just hop on Israelites School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge on YouTube. That's for the live classes. We also have our ISB HBK cable show, which is on Comcast Local Channel 17, or you can stream it live on hmstv.org, and that's on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Okay? You can also watch pre-recorded classes on our ISB HBK Kids. Okay, that's our pre-record classes for kids under the age of 12. So, if you do have a kid that's under the age of 12 and you want them to learn, we're going to resume our kids classes in September. Okay? If you need to reach a priest, you can contact me at 303-557-8979. Text only, please, during class. Call me, text me anytime after class. You can reach Priest Kazakia at 281-707-2737, and you can reach Priest Tahawam at 832-941-2443. Now, these brothers are out in Trinidad, so if you're hitting them up and you're not getting a quick or a prompt reply, it's because they are out in Trinidad, and they are out there teaching. I think they're having class like almost every single day. And they're with brothers, you know, they're around brothers every single day. So we just ask that you be patient. They will get to you, but you can hit me up for any questions also. If you have any questions or concerns, you can contact us at ISB, or for email, you can email us at isbhbk@gmail.com. Okay? For our announcements, so we're having a garage sale, okay, on August the 19th, starting at 7 a.m. Okay, and the address for the yard sale is 7824 Fair Acres, what is that, street? Fair Acres Street, yeah, there it is. Houston, Texas, 77072. So if you want to donate time, items to our yard sale, to our garage sale, that'd be lovely. You can mail them, you can bring them to the school. We're using the garage sale to raise money for the Passover. Okay, so obviously the bigger items, the better. You know, you can relieve some clutter in your garage, your attic space, your closets, whatever you want to give up. Clothing, y'all taking everything, right? Clothes.
Only big items.
Like big items, like what's a good example?
Like couches, chairs, computers, like,
yeah,
you know, just things that you got sitting up somewhere that
right.
nothing does.
Yeah, if you got like an old couch somewhere that you ain't using.
House supplies like dishes, like all kinds of stuff.
Okay, yeah, house supplies, dishes, microwaves that that you're not using, that you can donate. You know, definitely take those off your hands and get those to the garage sale. Okay. Also, we are receiving or collecting money monthly for the Passover garments. Okay, so we do that. That way, when April rolls around, we're not just hitting everybody like, hey, we need this amount of money, we need this amount of money, and everybody doesn't have it. We do it monthly, so it's spread out, so it's just easier of a burden on everybody when we collect it monthly. So if you want a Passover garment, get with the sisters. They'll hook that up for you. They'll tell you what the monthly payment is. Also, if you just want a regular garment, you know, they do garments monthly, you can get one of those, Unity garments. But if you just want something that, you know, you want some armbands, a headband, go on Facebook, search Israel Wear, and you can message the sisters there, and they can make for you whatever it is that you want as far as garments. Okay? Yeah, they do Unity garments year round, so if you want to be in unison with the camp, definitely get with them on that Facebook under Israel Wear, and they'll get you set up with that. As far as donations, any form of contribution is welcome. We take it all, cars, from books to cars, okay? Whatever is going to help out, that's the bottom line. Whatever is going to help further the truth, help the educational process of your people, we want it. That way we can use it to help. We can have it for others. So we take any form of donation, any contribution is welcome. Food, books, pens, papers, dictionaries, cars, clothes, computers, whatever it is, microphones, cameras, you know, anything that you want to give, we'll take it because we're going to put it to a good use. If you want to give any monetary donations, any money, we have a Wells Fargo account, and that's under Israelites School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge, and the account number is 101-580-6167. You can also send money via Google Wallet under isbhpk@gmail.com. We also, for people that do come to class, we have a Penny Wars game where it's a battle between the brothers and the sisters. Whoever collects the most pennies, I believe, wins, right? Whoever collects the most pennies wins. But it's counterbalanced by quarters, dollars, $5 bills. So it's just another way for us to raise money internally, and that goes for the Passover also. You know, like I said, I think it was last class, you know, when we do Passover, man, we don't slack. We get the lambs, we get a nice location, you know, everything gotta be on point. So we make sure that it's on point. So if you want to help out with that, you know, definitely be our guest. We appreciate the help. For those of you that have been helping, we appreciate the contribution. Okay, those of you that's been giving your alms, you know, we definitely appreciate it, and we ask that you continue because it's all going to a good place. You know, we got brothers out in Trinidad that are teaching. So they got, you know, they're gonna need stuff out in Trinidad. A lot of these things that you guys might donate here to the school, we might send them down to Trinidad for their benefit. You know, when you read about Paul did that. He said he took from one church to help another, right? So, you know, we got to look at it in that mind state. In growing, you might not have all the necessary supplies in one location. You might have to borrow from your main location to help out a new location. They do it all the time in Esau's world. What do? When they got when they're opening a new store, they might take employees from that store that's already established and bring them to this new store to show them how things are run. Right? To establish this new store, show them how things are run, they might bring some supplies over. So it's the same thing. It's just that Esau stole that from the Bible. They stole that from Paul. Paul did that, you know? Yeah, that was Paul. So, you know, it's all about, what was this? I need to learn more. That's what it's about. It's helping and building and growing, and this is how we do it. DeMarcus Edwards, you say you need to learn more. The way you do it, bro, you just gotta keep watching class. You gotta keep studying. You gotta make sure you keep your head in that book. Somebody give me 2 Timothy. You gotta make sure that you're you got to make sure you're giving yourself that opportunity to be taught.
Second Timothy.
2:15.
Chapter 2 and verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto God.
Right, you got to study. Because the reason why you want to learn to show your approval to the Most High. So it says, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. Go ahead.
A workman that needeth not to be ashamed.
Yeah, but it's going to take work. It's going to take work to get into that book, because once you put that out there, I need to learn more, Satan knows that your agenda is to get into this Bible and to get these scriptures in hopes of becoming more righteous, a better brother, more charity. So Satan's job is going to be like, nope, I'm going to make sure you don't get in there. I'm going to make sure you don't have the opportunities to study. I'm going to make sure that when it's time for you to watch class, your internet's going to buffer, right? Your phone battery's going to be dead. You know, he's going to present all these different challenges for you not to be able to go in there. But a workman, he realizes, damn, this is my job now. I got to learn it. I got to get it. So you're that workman trying to rightly divide the word of truth. But it takes studying, writing things down. You know, like I said, I'm not sure where you're at. I'm not sure what city you're in. What city are you in, bro? DeMarcus, what city are you in? Because if you're in Houston and you close by, the best thing to do is come to class. Come to class. That way you can learn more. The learning process is easier. Less distractions. You know, you get your questions answered face to face. If you're, I mean, it doesn't matter where you are. If you're somewhere where there's a school, you want to get to class, man. That's the first way. That's the first way to do it. You know, I was having a conversation with a brother earlier today, and we were talking about, you know, a lot of these Hebrews, man, they want to have camp without camp. Meaning, they don't want to have a place to go to solve issues and solve problems, but they want to just go and have camp on Saturday. Run out, street teach, yell at people. But what about Monday through Friday, where that's where you're supposed to be congregating with your brothers, with your sisters? If you got issues, they help you work it out. That's part of the learning process. Being able to get your issues worked out. Get your problems worked out. Get your spirit worked on. That's part of learning. Learning the Most High's way, you know? But a lot of bros, man, they're you know, this new thing is you don't need to be around nobody. You don't need a school. You don't need a camp. You don't need a place to get your spirit worked on. Do that by yourself and then go out and street teach. Nah, you gotta make sure that if you can be around, if there's a school that's local to you, find it out. Let me know where you at, and we can see if there's a school that's in your area. But read that 2 Timothy.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto God.
Right.
We're having issues with the media right now. You can't see me right now. I have the.
But they can hear me?
They can hear you.
Hey, Salakia, pardon us, we're having a little problem with the camera. Y'all probably can't see me, but y'all can hear me. So stay tuned in. We're working it out, but I'm gonna continue to talk. That way y'all can hear me. That's the important thing. Y'all need to see me, man. I'm not anything to look at. I ain't that beautiful anyway, you know. But read where you at.
2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15.
Study
to show thyself approved unto
right.
God.
So what is it that we're supposed to be studying? You know, what is it that you're supposed to be hitting to get that learning process going? You want to start with the basics. You want to start with the basics. You want to hit you know, Deuteronomy 28. Start getting that engrafted into your brain and start letting that resonate in your spirit, because that's important. You got to get hit Deuteronomy 28, you know, color of Christ, who Christ came for. All these basic breakdowns that you want to get down. That way you get a better understanding of the Bible. You want to understand how is the Bible written. You know, you want to know when something's written in symbolism. You know, the Bible is written in symbolic form, in prophetic form, prophecy, and also in historical form. It's a history book. A lot of symbolism in the Bible, excuse me. But the Bible is also a history book, right? It's a book of laws, statutes, and commandments. So you got to understand, what is it that I'm trying to learn? How was the Bible written? Who was it written to? Go to go to Hebrews real quick. Go to Hebrews real quick. Whole Hebrews, go to Isaiah. Yeah, go to Isaiah 28:9 real quick.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 9.
Go ahead. So right now I'm just giving you, for DeMarcus Edwards, I'm just giving you a little, because you said you want to learn more. So I'm just giving you a little instruction on how to learn more. All right? And how the process and taking to be able to get that learning. Go and read that, Isaiah 28:9.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 9.
Go ahead.
Whom shall he teach knowledge?
Yeah, it's a question. Who's going to learn? Who's going to be taught knowledge? The basics of the Bible. Wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Whom shall he teach knowledge? Go ahead.
And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Yeah. How are you going to be able to understand this doctrine? How are you going to learn this doctrine? Go ahead.
Them that are weaned from the milk.
Yeah, you got to be weaned from the milk. Go ahead.
And drawn from the breast.
Right. You need the basics. You need milk. The basics are Deuteronomy 28. Color of Christ. Who Christ came for. There's a lot of different basics that you need. Go ahead.
For precept must be upon precept.
Right, and the way you get the understanding is going precept to precept. Go ahead.
Precept upon precept.
Hold where you at. Jump to Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 13 real quick.
Hebrews chapter 5 verse 13.
Go ahead.
For everyone that uses milk is unskillful.
Right, so this is the thing. You got to realize one thing. Everyone that uses milk is unskillful, because milk is a basic thing. Right? Think about a baby. A baby is unskillful in eating. He doesn't know how to chew. He doesn't know that he needs to bite, chew, and then swallow. A baby just wants to swallow. So he's unskillful in the art of eating, taking things in, and digesting and using them. A baby's unskillful. So he that useth milk is unskillful. Go ahead.
In the word of righteousness.
Right, but now if we're dealing with this word of righteousness, when you're still on the milk, you're unskillful, so you can't go on to the deeper knowledges. So you got to get skillful, but you got to get off that. You got to get on that milk, the basics. Go ahead.
For he is a baby.
Because you're a babe, right? And this is not a shot or anything like that. It's just of growing.
Con.
You come into anything, you're gonna be a baby.
Con.
Go ahead.
Verse 14.
Uh-huh.
But strong meat belongeth to them that are of full age.
Yeah, you gotta wait until you get to full age. Galatians, before you can dive in there on your own and say, I get this. That's that strong milk. Meat, you gotta be able to get off the milk. You gotta be able to understand the milk and digest the milk. See, a lot of us choke on milk. A lot of us choke on the milk. You got a lot of us that are choking on the basic principles of the Bible. How is it read? Where do we go for the understanding? A lot of us don't understand that it's precept upon precept, line upon line. Where you at? Ray. A person can now think about meat. You just stick a whole steak in your mouth and just devour it? You wouldn't be able to do it, right? You bite off your fork, you cut off a nice size of. First you got. Then you chew it. You just bite it in. And a fork. Go ahead.
Even though by reason, since
skillful man, a good piece of meat off, he's gonna know it fits in my mouth. Now I chew. I don't just chew it once. I gotta chew it enough time. Even eating this. So gotta do all things decently and in order. And the order would be to get the basics down. If there's a school you can go to see a teacher face to face, go do that.
8 and verse precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
And so electrostatics. Yeah, we're not Christians, bro, but Khan, you could delete his comments.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need no profanity on the page. But we're definitely not Christians if that comment was towards us. Anyway, so yeah, for DeMarcus, that's the you want to take basics down so you can come into that strong meat. So that way you can, that's how you grow your spirit. That's how a baby grows. They get meat, then they get food. So just
Okay, so you're back.
Sister Mary.
They can take a box and put it together and make a face on it. And that's knowledge. Right?
Well, say it one more time. I missed the beginning part. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. Man can find pieces of body here and there.
Yeah.
And they can put it together and put a face on it. How that person looked.
Right. Like, are you saying like you get knowledge? Are you saying as far as in the Bible you can get get your knowledge from different places and put it together, like something that you can see? Yeah. Knowledge come from the scriptures, right? Right. Right. The Most High is he's the instructor of all knowledges. That's that wisdom that he gives us. That's why it says wisdom. Not to go into my class, but wisdom is the worker of all things.
Yeah.
There's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in everything that the Most High gave us. How did Noah's 3 children repopulate the earth with their wives? Did their children lay with their cousins? Yes, there was some form of there was some form of incest. To answer your question, Khan. They had to, nobody else was around. See, an instance where the Most High was wiping out all wickedness, right? And who was saved? Noah and his 3 sons and their wives. So yes, there had to be to repopulate the earth at that time because everything else was wiped out. All manner of man was wiped out. What we got?
Chapter 2.
Where you at? What's that?
Noah, Shem, Japheth.
My little bro fringed up. Bro, 16 years old. This dude be watching class. He be on class, man. Yeah, I mean, you can go to, where we at? Go ahead. Well, that's it on that. And we know that the Most High said that to Adam and Eve, right? Be fruitful and multiply, right? But see, not wanting to go all the way to the Genesis breakdown, because once you understand the Genesis, we know that multiply, but not in the form.
Genesis chapter 10.
So it goes into it like that, so you can read chapter 10. But yeah, there was nobody on the earth, so that's the way it had to be done.
For keeping the ordinances of the Most High? Like
follow the commandments?
Like the order that he got set up for us?
You mean as far as like, well, like for man,
like
woman,
for like to use in your household and stuff like that.
like what are some blessings? There's a lot. I mean, think about it. Man, I mean, let's, because God, Christ, man, woman, child, right? It's basically a commandment, right? So,
can you go like the blessings?
right, I'm gonna show you, because the commandments, the Most High gave us blessings and curses if we follow the commandments. So let's go to Deuteronomy. It's that simple. Watch this.
I'm watching.
I mean, it's that simple, really. Because he gave us blessings and curses. He didn't give us a lot of blessings. All right, 28. Oh, man. But I think I know what you mean as far as you want more direct household blessings, right? Well,
and curses like showing like when we don't do things according to how I say done, we break the order of things, or when order wants to be switched up or go against, going against. Scripture showing like or giving more edification on how to go about that more wisely. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not too overbearing, but it's still firm to where we are supposed to know and have the understanding of how it's supposed to be done.
Right. Well, let's go there. Let's go to Corinthians. Let's get the order real quick. That way because that's what your question is based on, right? Right. Where we at?
1 Corinthians chapter 11.
Sure. Got it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You want to start at verse 1?
Yeah, you can start at verse 1.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
Go ahead. So we understood that Paul was asking us. He was telling us, you got to follow me the way I follow Christ. So Paul's going to show you the established order of how he did that. Go ahead.
Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things.
We got to remember all things. Go ahead.
And keep the ordinances.
And keep the order. Go ahead.
As I delivered them to you.
Why? Because this is the way it was delivered to Paul from Yahweh Shai. See that? So we know that it's a good thing. If it's from the Most High in Christ, if it comes from Yahweh Shai, it comes from the Most High. Right. So we know it's a good thing. Read verse 3.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Right? So the head of the man is Christ. That's going to keep the man in line. Right? Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Go ahead.
And the head of Christ is God.
So we got that order, right?
God.
Jump to verse 18.
Verse 18.
This is why that order had to be established. Read.
For first of all, when ye come together in the church, I hear that there be divisions among you.
Right. See, the order is gonna prevent these divisions in a household. Think about it. If a woman is obeying the head, if a man says to his wife, "Babe, I need you to hit the store, but I need you to get these specific things," and she's following those ordinances, things are going to get done in accordance to the household. It's going to benefit the household, right? It's going to benefit the children. But if you say, "Babe, I need you to go to the store, I need you to get some Kleenex, some diapers, and a pen," but she goes to the store and just gets whatever the hell she wants, how does that benefit anything? How does that benefit the house? How does that, things are out of order, it's chaos. So now you got to do what? You got to take the time. Why'd you get that? How come you didn't listen? You got to go into all these different things that are unnecessary. So what does it do? What does the order do? It prevents chaos. It prevents division. So on the flip side, when we are keeping the ordinances, it brings peace. It prevents chaos. It prevents things from being done the wrong way. It prevents things from being done. You ever hear the expression? You got to you got to work. What's the expression? Do it right the first time. Well, do it right the first time, where you work twice. I forget the expression. Where it's like, yeah, I send you to the store to buy one thing. You got what you want. Now you got to go back to the store. Right. You're doing double work. It prevents that double work. It prevents. It leads to efficiency. When you do things in order, there's efficiency in your household. That's the thing. That's a blessing, to be efficient. Mm-hmm. Think about it. Think about when things are not efficient. Right. Things are just done. You got to do things twice. You got to burn double the gas. Right. You got to double the manpower. You got to leave what you're doing to go make sure it's done right. You know, they use that saying, if you want things right, do it yourself. Nah, that's not order. Because there's a reason why we delegate things, but we give the order. Right. Today, I had a brother, I hit him up. I said, "Listen, I need you to go here and handle this." And he did it in that order, to where I couldn't leave off what I was doing. Right. Now, if I had to go leave off what I was doing, there would be no class. You see what I'm saying? So keeping the order, it prevents and it benefits a lot of things. It prevents the chaos, but it benefits things getting done the right way. You know, and that's what it's about. It gives you efficiency. It gives you, man, it's a lot of different things, man. Humility. There's humility in keeping the order. Think about it. If you ain't keeping orders, what are you? Prideful. Prideful, rebellious, right? Stiff-necked, hard-headed, right? So if you're able to follow orders, it's showing a humility about you that we all have to have. We got to be humble to Christ. Think about it. We got to be humble to Christ and the Most High. That's the order. We have to answer to that. When you look at a woman in this order, you would say, well, damn, she has to answer to her man, Christ, and the Most High. Truthfully, she just has to really answer to her man. And in doing that properly, she's already answering to Christ and the Most High. But that rebelliousness, as soon as she wants to break the order, now she's breaking the order of the Most High, Christ, and her man. You see that? And same with a man. If he breaks the orders of Christ, he's breaking the Most High's order. So, I mean, the benefits, efficiency, the blessings, peace. Think about your household. When they say this man's household's in order, it's peaceful. It's a setting where he wants to go. You got a lot of men out there that they don't want to go home. They're just like, man, listen, I ain't trying to go home because there's chaos in my house. There's no order. That's why they hit, right. They hit the strip club. They hit the they out there in the strip club, or they just want to sit in the sports bar. They want to sit at the mall. They just want to sit at the mall. It's like, man, what you up to? Like, nothing, bro. I just don't want to be home. It's like, what? That's supposed to be your sanctuary. That's supposed to be where you go after work, relax. Your rib is there. If you got kids, it's supposed to be joyous. It's supposed to be peaceful. Peace is a blessing to have. When you get peace of mind, that's a blessing. You get that nice quiet. When you can sit back with your rib and just vibe. Right. you know, that's a blessing, man. A lot of people don't have that. Were you going to say something? I think you were going to say something. Were you?
No, I was agreeing like with the peace, because you know whenever you go getting along with and stuff, you know what I'm saying, like you had that peace in there. When you break the order, then that's when you get away to the adversary and you come in and corrupt everything.
Right. Yeah, that's how I think about it. I always, because when there's no order, there's chaos. And usually in that chaos, there's arguments, disputes, fighting. Right? Who's winning? Who wins when a man and a wife argue, when a man and his rib argue?
Satan.
Satan is in the middle of that laughing at y'all. Right. He got his feet up on y'all table, smoking a cigarette, watching y'all, watching y'all, and having a beer, watching y'all argue. Because he knows he got in. He got in through that, the breaking of the order. You know, so yeah, there's a lot of go to James 4:1 real quick.
I was with you.
Huh?
I said I thought I was with you.
What you mean? Where were you gonna go? What you got? Go to it. I know you want to go. Go to it. Go to that. Yeah, you go to it. I'm with you. I know where you want to go. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 25 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
In 3 things was I beautified.
Right, go ahead.
And stood upright, beautiful, both before God and man.
Go ahead.
The unity of brethren.
The unity of brethren. These are the 3 things that the Most High was beautified at. He was like, damn, I gotta bless this household. I gotta make sure that this household prospers. Right? Think about it. Think about the military. And they have order. They have an ordered structure. Because they know to advance an enemy, to defeat an enemy, you got to do things in an order. You got to send out certain troops to scout the land. Then you send out your ground unit. You got them on there, you know, hand-to-hand combat, whatever it may be. But then if it gets real, you might have to send your tanks in with your missiles and things. There's order. I mean, they do things out of order now. They just send missiles. They just send the airplane to blow things up. So they don't care about all that. But there's order in everything that is going to try to prosper. Go ahead, read on.
The love of neighbors.
The love of neighbors. Go ahead.
A man and a wife that agree together.
Why? Why is the Most High beautified in that? Because things are growing. There's growth in unity. There's prosperity in unity. There's peace. There's peace of mind to know that this person got my back. Right? There's peace of mind knowing that this person, if I tell them, you know, my rib, if I say, listen, babe, I need you to, I'm dying, I need you to run down the street and grab me something, she's gonna go do it. Ain't no second question. You know, because she understands that she ain't doing it just for me, she's doing it for Christ. You know, so it's a lot of blessings, man. There's a lot of your kids. Think about it. Think about your children. You say yay, she say nay. What does the children believe? Who they gonna side with?
Mommy.
Not always.
No, not always.
But the point is this: they don't know who to side with. Now, what are they confused? Right? They're confused. So we open up our houses. When we don't follow the order, we open up our households for confusion and to confuse our kids. Where did I say? Go to James.
4:1.
4:1 real quick.
James chapter 4 verse 1.
Read that.
From whence come wars and fightings among you.
Yeah, this is where they come from breaking the orders. So the opposite of wars and fighting is peace and tranquility. Right? You know, when your house is peaceful, man, you walk in, everything just smells good. Everything is just breezy and nice and aired out. You just, damn, this is peace in this house. You can feel the peace. You can feel the tranquility. But guess what? You can also feel the damn demons when they're there. You can feel the tension. You can feel when things are out of order and chaotic. Like me, I hate clutter. Oh my God. I hate it. But when you get busy, it's like, got a little pile of clothes here, you got some books over here, and you know, when you walk into the house, you're just like, damn, I hate this. And the first thing I do, I'm just like, man, I gotta clean it. I gotta get it out of here. The kids, their room, I'm like, come on, y'all gotta get it together, let's go. Because the feeling of just having all this, it feels like it's enclosing on you. It feels like it's stifling you. Right? You just feel overwhelmed. But think about when you walk into your crib and everything is in its place. Everything is in its order. All the mail is in the right place where it's supposed to be. You got that one junk drawer you just throw everything in. Right. Everything is in the junk drawer, right? That it needs to be in. Your pens, your mail. Everybody got that drawer in the kitchen, right? You just open that, just throw the junk. You need a lighter? Junk drawer. You need a screwdriver? Junk drawer. Right. Now you walk around your house, the lighter is here, the screwdriver is here, you got mail thrown around. You're just like, damn, it's chaos. It feels like you're getting enclosed in the walls. Yeah. You don't got that tranquility. You don't got that peace of mind. So, yeah, man, it's just about that peace, man, that tranquility, that airiness. You know what I mean by airiness? Where it's just like things can just flow right through. There's nothing blocking it. You know, that's what it is, man. That's what it brings. That's what, I mean, ultimately, that's what it brings. It brings that peace, man. Yeah. Yes, sir. What else? Are we back online?
Oh, Connor.
Oh, have we? Oh. I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on.
What was the initial question that Jeremiah had asked?
What are like the blessings of keeping the order? Fringed up, you know you'd always text me anyway. Hit me up, brother. Let me know how you been. I haven't talked to you in a while.
That's the screen name? Fringed up?
Fringed up, yeah. Young bro, man. 16. Gotta be in there, bro. I'm telling you. You got anything else? Any other questions? All right, well. We're going to wait for them to hop online, but we're just going to go into the class then. So, the title of this class, what is it? Does the Bible, what is it? What do we title it?
Why is the Bible not solving my problems?
Why is the Bible not solving my problems? Now let me ask y'all something. Do y'all, and this is for people online, if you're online, people in here, do y'all believe that the Bible, the scriptures, solve problems?
Con.
Okay, how? How does the Bible solve one's problems? Do I just hey brother, you got a problem. You walk to me, hey, I got this issue. My ribs tripping. Do I just say, oh, here. I just hand you a Bible? What's that?
Well, first you have to read and you have to apply what you're reading. I mean, in whatever situations that you're going through at that time.
Right.
Like yesterday I had an issue with this lady. I guess you could say it was an anger issue at that time. You know, scriptures, I could have used anger rest on the bosom of a fool. And I kind of didn't apply it at that time because of the situation that happened, but I should have, and that's just a good way to apply the scriptures at that time.
Right, so you do have to apply. Well, what is it that you have to recognize?
You have an issue?
Say it again?
That you have an issue?
So you have to first, you got to recognize that there's a problem, right? That's the first problem. That's the first way to solve a problem, is to recognize that, damn, there's a problem. There's an issue, right? So that's the first thing. We got to know that when we're having a problem, we got to know that. Somebody go to, and before I go in, it's more like, you know, we got to understand that yes, the scriptures, the Bible, does solve problems. There are questions and answers in the Bible. There were problems in the scriptures, and they use, what do they use to fix it? They did use the Bible. Go to Wisdom of Solomon. Because, you know, you do have people that don't think that the Bible solves problems. They just think it's a book that I'm gonna read. It's a novel. You got a lot of sisters, like, she gets all wild with her husband. It's like, all right, sis, get your scriptures. And she's like, why we gotta get that? That ain't gonna help. Yeah, of course it's gonna help. I'm gonna show you how. Because we're gonna recognize what you got going on, and then we're gonna go through it step by step. Right? But a lot of people don't believe that the Bible is a problem solver. They just think it's some book of spirituality. Right? It's a book of spirituality and good sayings. And I'm just gonna read it for what it is. Go to one sec. Go to Wisdom of Solomon, 16 and verse 12.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16 and verse 12.
So we gotta really ask ourselves the question: why is the Bible not fixing my issues? How come the scriptures ain't fixing the problems I got? Well, first of all, you gotta recognize that there's a problem, but you do have to recognize that the Bible is the answer. It's the only fixer. Read that. Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 12.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16 and verse 12.
16 and 12. Go ahead.
For was neither herb.
Okay, so herb. We know that when we use herb in its correct manner, what is it supposed to do? It's a problem solver for what?
For sickness.
For sickness, right? So we know that herbs is a problem solver for sickness. Go ahead.
Nor mollifying plaster.
Right. You break your arm, break your leg. What do? They throw a cast on it, right? What does it do? It fixes that break, right? It fixes a problem. You see that? So we know these things fix things. But the scripture is saying it wasn't herb or plaster. Go ahead.
That restored them to health.
Right. That healed you. That fixed you. That fixed whatever problem you had. Read on.
But thy word.
Oh, what?
But thy word.
No, the word don't fix no problems. Read it again.
But thy word.
No, the Bible is just a book of sayings.
But thy word.
Wait, that comic book?
But thy word.
See that? The only thing that's going to restore you to health, fix your problems, is the word of the Most High. That's what we got to understand. But there's a how-to. See, it's not just, I got a problem, slap a cat with the Bible. The problem fixed. We wish it was that easy. I got a problem, here, just take this book and sit it on top of your head and you're going to be good. No. It ain't that simple. Or here, I got a problem, let's just open the book and you're healed. Nah. Again, there's an order. There's a method. Right? So, number one, we got to understand that there's a problem. Go to, and we're not going to go to there yet. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 7 and verse 22. So we got to understand that, yes.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 22.
The Bible does fix our issues. Right? Where we at? Wisdom of Solomon 7. 22. Yes, the Bible fixes our issues. But how? Read that. Wisdom of Solomon, verse 7 and 22.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 22.
Go ahead.
For wisdom.
For what?
For wisdom.
Go ahead.
Which is the worker of all things.
So we understand that wisdom works in all things. So wisdom is going to be able to work out what?
Everything.
Your problems, right? Wisdom, if you use wisdom, it's going to be able to work out whatever issues you have. So we know we got to move in wisdom, right? Wisdom is the worker of all things that taught me. Read on.
That taught me.
Go ahead.
For in her is an understanding spirit.
Right, because if you have a problem, we said the first step is to what? Understand that there is a problem. That's one. It's like the first rule of alcoholism is to understand that you're an alcoholic, right? The first rule of drug abuse, if you want to get healed, is to know that you're a drug abuser, right? So you got to understand. Again, there's a problem. But see, when you use the wisdom, it's going to show you that you got a problem. Go ahead.
Holy
It's hope. Go ahead.
One only. Manifold.
Right, so it's giving you all these different attributes of wisdom that you can use to now fix problems. You might have to be subtle in an issue. You might have to multitask with certain problems that you have. But see, wisdom is going to show you these things, because if we go in our own mind, we're just going to be like, well, I deal with my issues this way. I deal with my issues head on. But you might have to be subtle in that issue. You might have to be roundabout, right? You might have to be manifold. You might have to be able to multitask and do more than one thing at once. See, wisdom is going to show you this. Go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 1. So we learn. Go ahead. So we learned about wisdom and what wisdom is going to do for our problems and how it helps us to manipulate and maneuver around our problems. Right? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 1.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily.
Yeah. Wisdom reaches from one end of the earth to the other. Wisdom is everywhere. Like it said back in verse 22 and 7 and 22, wisdom is the worker of all things. Wisdom is going to work out all the problems you have. The wisdom of the scriptures is going to work out whatever you have going on. You just got to allow it. So wisdom reaches from one end to the other mightily. Go ahead.
And sweetly does she order all things.
She does what?
Order all things.
Yeah, she's going to set everything in its order. You got a problem? Use wisdom. It's going to be set in its order. That problem is not going to be there. But you have to use wisdom. Jump to verse 9.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 9.
Go ahead.
Therefore I purpose to take her to me, to live with me.
Right. So you got to make it a purpose to have wisdom dwell with you at all times. Go ahead.
Knowing that she will be a counselor of good things.
Wisdom is going to do what?
Be a counselor of good things.
Go ahead.
And a comfort in cares and grief.
You see that? So wisdom is going to be your counselor. You got a problem? Wisdom is going to counsel you. You got an issue? Wisdom is going to help you in your grief. So does the Bible fix problems? The end. Shalom. No, I'm playing. I'm joking. You just need 3 scriptures, right? So we're understanding that, yes, the Bible fixes problems through the wisdom of the Bible. What's wisdom?
The correct application of knowledge.
The correctly applying the knowledge you have of a situation. So if you correctly apply knowledge, the knowing of something, to a situation, you're going to gain wisdom. You'll be using wisdom to, and then more than likely, because it is the correct application of knowledge to that situation, that problem will be worked out. So let's correctly apply some knowledge. 1, problem solving. We got to understand what we said it. We got to know that there's a problem, right?
Come on.
So what is it that we do to know if we have a problem? What are some things you do, Aliyah? Like, man, I think I might be having a problem. What you say to yourself, like, damn, is that an issue? I'm thinking this way, or my rib said some weird things to me, or a brother said something to me that was kind of off. What are you doing?
Analyzing, examining,
right?
And in doing that, replaying situations and scenarios, and seeing the outcome and the results, recognizing the outcome and the results, and then looking to how I can improve the results. And I go about doing that by counseling, praying, studying.
Right. But you said it earlier. You said you gotta examine. You gotta examine things, right? That's how you do it. You play things. You examine what people say. listen to different words, examine your thoughts. So you got to examine. That's how you know that's how you know if there's a problem. You have to examine. Go to 1 Corinthians 11 and 28. If you got a question online, I'm gonna get to it.
First Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 28.
Go ahead.
But let a man examine himself.
You got to do what?
Examine yourself.
Yeah, you got to examine yourself. Go ahead.
And so let him eat of that bread.
Right. So before you get into your endeavors, whatever it may be, before you partake in anything, you got to examine. You got to say, okay, is there a problem or is there not a problem? Right? Jump to verse. So in not examining, what happens? When you don't examine yourself, you just let yourself go. What happens? Cause more problems, but you're not allowing yourself to be fixed, so you're not even acknowledging that there's a problem. Right? Just jump to verse 30.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 30. For this cause, many are weak and sickly.
Many are what?
Weak and sickly.
Why? Because that weak and sickly person never said, damn, I got an issue. They never examined themselves and sat back and said, man, what's going on with me? Why am I slothful today? How come I'm not following orders? How come I'm not keeping the ordinances? How come if my husband is telling me one thing, I'm trying to rebel? Is that a problem? Let me open the book and see. You know, we got to ask ourselves, why do we let so many problems linger and go on? Because we don't take the first step to even examine ourselves to see if there is a problem. For one that has the Bible and understands the scriptures, how would he examine himself? What would he do?
Put himself in the situation.
You said what?
Put himself in whatever it is that he first acknowledges there's a problem. Go back, like kind of like what Abiel was saying earlier. Put yourself in that situation and see if you went about it the correct way, or if what you did was pleasing in the sight of the Most High. If it was pleasing in the sight of the Most High, then you know you took the right route. If you didn't, and you broke the order.
Well, how would you do it though? How would you know?
Cause your peace gonna be broken. Like that's when I know I have a problem. I be feeling some kind of way. Like you say, why am I feeling slothful? Why am I just, you know, you go back and examine yourself, like the preacher was saying. Okay, did I do this correctly? Did I do that correctly? Mm-hmm. When I spoke to this brother or this sister, what was my tone like? Was it, you know what I'm saying? Was it offensive or, you know, things like this?
Right. Well, the problems that we get, they're spirits, right? So you got to try the spirit by the spirit. You got to say, does my thinking, does my actions, whatever I'm feeling, does it line up with whatever the scriptures say? So we got to try the spirit by the spirit. You got to go in here and say, okay, look, where's my problem? Pride? Okay, what does it say about pride? Where's my problem? I'm having a problem with my husband. What does the scripture say about dealing with your husband? First of all, I got to be humble. I got to be subject to him, right? Okay. Am I being humble? No. So that's one. Am I being subject to him? Yeah, but now let me be humble because he might be trying to show me something. I'm not listening, right? So you got to try the spirit by the spirit. You got to try your spirit by this spirit. That's one thing. Where we at?
First Corinthians chapter 11, second precept. Among you and many sleep.
Right. So that's why there's so many weak and sick and people that are asleep because they're not recognizing their illnesses. Think about it. We got to recognize that there's an illness. We got to recognize that there's an issue. We got to see that there is a problem. I'm looking for a scripture.
Try the spirit by the spirit.
Yeah.
1 John 4:1.
Yep.
Bring it out.
Yep.
1 John chapter 4, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Beloved, believe not every spirit.
Right. Believe not every spirit. Think about it. You believe in yourself that there's not a problem. That's a spirit. That's a spirit of delusion. Right? You're like, man, there ain't no problem. I'm gonna just carry on. But what do you gotta do? Go ahead.
But try the spirit.
Yeah, you gotta try the spirit, the problem that you're dealing with. Go ahead.
Whether they are of God.
Right. Is this a godly thing that I'm dealing with? If I'm dealing with a problem in my household, is it godly? You know, is slothfulness godly? Is pride godly? Hate godly? Problems between brothers, did I deal with it in a godly fashion? You know, how do I deal with my brother? What did the Bible say? That's a way to fix a problem. So we got to try the spirit to see if they are the Most High. That's how you do it. From there, go to 2 Corinthians 13 and 5.
2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5.
God.
I just got a flood of scriptures for some reason in my brain. Go ahead.
Salah.
2
2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 5.
Go ahead.
Examine yourselves whether you be in the faith.
Yeah, you got to examine yourself whether you be in the faith. Obviously, it's talking about the faith of the Most High, the order of the Most High, the way the Most High would do things. Right? You got to examine. One has to examine himself. Again, how we do it. You got to try the spirit by the spirit. Sister Mary.
That's having the mind of Christ.
Right. You got to have the mind of Christ.
You can't have an attitude without the facts.
There it is. I love that. Can't have an attitude without the facts. But no, you got to examine yourself, whether you be in the faith. A lot of us don't examine things properly. We overlook small, minor details. Somebody give me the definition of examine. It's not just, oh, I got a problem, or I don't got a problem. Let me pull 1, 2 scriptures and I'm done. There's a lot that goes into examining. So it says, examine yourself whether you be in the faith. What you got for examine?
Examine.
Uh-huh.
Examine. To inspect closely.
To do what?
Inspect closely.
Yeah, you got to inspect yourself closely, man. You don't just look over details and just do a general examination. You inspect things closely. You listen for every word detail. You inspect your thoughts. You try your spirit by the spirit. You got to do that closely. So go back to the scripture. It says, examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. Go ahead.
Prove your own selves.
Yeah, you got to prove yourself. You got to prove that the problem solving is in the book. You got to prove to yourself, listen, there's an issue. You got to prove that there's not an issue. How do you do it? You got to get in the spirit. You got to get into the book. Go ahead.
Know ye not your own selves?
Yeah, it's a question. Like, don't you know your own self? Come on, man. Don't you know how you feel in different instances? Don't you know when there's something wrong with you? Know ye not your own self? It's like, who's going to know you better than you? Right? Who's going to know you better than you? Nobody. It's yourself. You're with you 24 hours of the day. Think about that. You've been with you for 36 years. How you don't know your own self? How you don't know when something's off? How you don't know when you got a problem? Go ahead.
How that Yahushua is in you?
Go ahead.
Except ye be reprobates.
Right. Don't you know that Christ is in you? He's the one that's going to help you get out of your problems. Unless you're a reprobate. Somebody give me the definition of reprobate. Right? Somebody give me the definition of reprobate. Here, you can use this. Yeah. Yeah, you know why I'm defining these simple words, man? They might be simple, but the thing is, we don't examine. We just overlook and run through things, and it's like, yeah, examine, reprobate, blah, blah, blah. But these are key words to show, like, if we do, you know, they say the devil's in the details, man. And if we get into the details of things and not overlook things, a lot of our problems will be avoided. That's one. The Bible tells you about that. Take no matter great or small. Take no matter for great or small. Why? Because a person that's examining himself is looking at everything that comes towards his way and saying, what is going on here? What you got for reprobate?
Reprobate.
Yep.
To condemn strongly as unworthy, unacceptable,
right,
or evil.
Yeah. See that? Only an evil person is going to say, only the wicked is going to say, man, I ain't got no problem, or I don't care about my problem. Whatever. Man, you know you got an issue with, you know, the way you deal with brothers. Man, I don't care. I don't got no problem. It don't matter. What you got here, Jeremiah?
Reprobate. Denoting, reverse, disapprove, rejected.
Yeah, you reject. You reject the fact that you have a problem. You reject the problem and the answer. See, Christ is in you. So what is he? What is already in you? The solution is in you.
Say abandon in sin.
Go ahead.
Abandon in sin.
Abandon.
Or morally abandoned.
You morally abandon. Yeah, think about it. It's like, you know you got a problem with your sexual conduct. You sleeping with everybody. I don't care. That's just how I am. You're a reprobate. You got no moral. But see, Christ is in you, so you already have the solution. He's the beginning and the end, right? Gave you the solution to your problem. He's in you, but guess what? You already rejected it. You already rejected your solution with the reprobate mind. But read on. Read the next verse.
Verse 6.
Go ahead.
But I trust in ye, Salah. But I trust that ye shall know that we are not reprobates.
Right. I know we ain't reprobates in here. Right? I know that we know how to use the wisdom. That we know that the solution is in the scriptures. The problem solving is in the Bible. Right? I know none of us in here got that reprobate, rejectful mind. Right? Con. But see, a lot of us, I mean, there are some that they don't want to take the time to examine. They don't want to have the things that they're going through brought out. They don't want to face the facts that there's a problem. Why? Why do you think Jeremiah, a person wouldn't want to, if it's a problem that they're having, why would they not even want to acknowledge their problem?
Two things I think of. Denial,
right?
That's a problem. And then just think they're not living it.
You said they're not what?
They're not living it.
They're not living it? What else? What you think, God Ray?
They're rebellious.
They're rebellious.
They kick against the pricks.
Against the bricks?
Of the job and the method that was laid down to them that everybody been doing for centuries.
Make sure you stand when you speak. What do you think, Christian?
Pride.
Pride? That's a good one. Oh, yeah. Man's pride kick up. You like, man, I ain't got no issues. I'm perfect. But, you know, a lot of it is this. Go to St. John, chapter 3 and 19.
St. John, chapter 3 and verse 19.
This is one of my faves, man. We brought this out the other day. Go ahead.
St. John, chapter 3 and verse 19.
Go ahead.
And this is the condemnation.
See, this is that reprobate. This is that reprobate mind state. This is where a man draws back and goes against everything. Go ahead.
That light is coming to the world.
Yeah, because what does light do?
Reveal.
Light reveals things, right? The wisdom reveals things. See, when you go back into that wisdom of Solomon, it says wisdom is the worker of all things and it's in everything. Wisdom is going to penetrate the dark. That light, it's going to penetrate the darkness. Go ahead.
And men loved darkness.
This is the problem. Some people, they love to be in that dark state of mind where it's like, yeah, I don't have a problem, but then they act like they have a problem.
Right.
They like to be in that, I don't want to solve my problem mind. So I'm going to deny that there's a problem so that now there's no solution. And then they're going to say, well, the Bible didn't fix my problem. But it's like, well, first of all, you didn't take the proper steps. You know, you have those people that do it. They don't want to examine, they don't want to acknowledge the problems. Then you blame the Bible for not working. What sense does that make? How can you blame something for not working that you're actually not even using?
Right.
Right? Does that make sense? Do people do it? You got people that will you got people that will talk against something that they don't understand. I mean, I talked to a few people that are like that. I'm like, well, wait a minute, you don't even know the Bible, but how can you talk against it? How can you rebuke something that you don't understand? What was that?
Just like what you said. Another one I've learned too. Most of them that rebuke it haven't even read it.
Yeah.
Like for themselves, they just go off
What?
some ill will and some hearsay versus going into the scriptures themselves and actually reading so they can know for themselves.
Right.
And they go against it as if they haven't.
And that's a problem, right? That's a definite problem. Go to Ecclesiastes 11 and verse 7.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
Blame not before thou hast examined.
Yeah, see? People want to blame and then examine. But see, the Bible, the method is you got to examine yourself to see if there's a problem. And then when you use the correct method, if that don't work, then you can put your blame on, oh, well, that didn't work. But a lot of us, what we do, first of all, we don't want to examine ourselves. We don't want to step into that light. But what do? We blame. We rebuke. But we don't examine. So it says, blame not before you have heard the truth, the word, right? Read.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth.
Go ahead.
Understand first.
Do what?
Understand.
You got to understand what's going on with you. Go ahead.
And then rebuke.
And then fix the problem. But see, we do things in a bad manner where we don't even want to examine to know that there's a problem. Jump back to St. John. Jump back to St. John 3. Go ahead.
St. John chapter 3 and verse 19.
Go ahead.
And this is the condemnation.
Go ahead.
That light is come into the world, and men love darkness.
See, this is the problem though. Men love darkness, so they don't want to give themselves a chance to be examined. You got to really see this. A lot of people are like this. A lot of people in the truth are like this. They have that, they carry that spirit of, I'm going to do everything, I'm going to do the work, I'm going to make it happen, but at the same time, it's like, when I have a problem, I don't want to put myself there so my problem can be brought out because I like the place that I'm in emotionally. I like to dwell in my emotions. They don't want to get those emotions worked out of them. Go ahead.
It's a lot.
Where you at?
Rather than light.
They love darkness rather than light. Go ahead.
Because their deeds were evil.
You see that? Y'all understand that? Because their doing was evil. Their thoughts, the way they do things, was evil. Go ahead.
Verse 20. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light.
Yeah, everyone that does the evil, man, they hate that, the fact that wisdom is going to try to break it down. Everyone that does evil hates the fact that wisdom can come and shut down what they're doing. That's why they don't examine to see if there's a problem. Go ahead.
Neither cometh to the light.
They ain't going to come to the light. Read.
Lest their deeds should be reproved.
Yeah, they don't want those deeds to be reproved. Go ahead, read on.
But he that doeth truth come to the light.
But you that doeth the word, him that is abiding in truth, Him that abides in the wisdom, what is he going to do?
Cometh to the light.
The person that's looking for a solution to their problem does what?
Cometh to the light.
A person that's trying to recognize, damn, is there a problem? What do?
Cometh to the light.
They come to the light willingly. They come, okay, man, what's my problem? They come to the wisdom. They let the wisdom work. They let the wisdom heal them. They let the word penetrate. Go ahead.
That his deeds may be manifest.
Go ahead.
That they are wroth in the Most High.
Yeah, they let their deeds be known that it's the Most High. That's how this person operates. They don't run from the light. A person that's examining and using the Bible correctly to solve their problems, they run towards the light. So now we got to ask ourselves, we know that it's the deeds. We know that it's the doing that prevents a man from using the Bible correctly to solve problems. What is it? What is it that we have? What is it that we're putting up that's stopping us from examining? Like Christian said it, he said pride, right? What are some others? Idolatry, right? We put things before the wisdom, right? What else? I want y'all to talk, man. I can sit here and talk. I want y'all to talk, man. What's that?
A person that's they're comfortable in their own ways.
Right? They're comfortable in their own ways. Bria, what you think? Why does a person, what attributes prevents a person from wanting to get themselves fixed through the Bible? No humility. Yeah, that's one. What else? What else, Sister Cassandra, what do you think? What attributes, what bad attributes are going to prevent a person from being able to use the Bible and understand that they have a problem? What are they dealing with? What is a person dealing with? Pride, What you got, Jeremiah?
They still love the world. They still want to hang on to the world.
They still want to hang on to the worldly man, right? They don't want to. Because what is it that they don't want to do?
Change.
You're gonna raise your hand. You're gonna raise your hand. The sister had it. You're gonna raise your hand. Ray, what's up?
They destroy for the lack of knowledge, lack of understanding. No.
That's one of them. But they don't want to change. This person, this man, this woman, they truthfully don't want to change. That's why it says they don't want to come to the light, because their deeds would be reproved. Think about when your deeds are reproved. What does that mean? Somebody look up the word reproved. When your doings are reproved, what does that mean? You got a question, sis?
I was going to ask you on that, but you're finished.
Oh, yeah. What does it mean when your deeds are reproved? So your deeds are something that you do, right? You're doing good deeds. You're doing good doings, right? Doing good doings. A deed. What is a deed? I'll look that up. You look up reprove.
I have reproved.
Deeds. So look. D-E-D-S. Deeds definition. See, it's important to look things up, man. Okay, so deeds, or a deed, is an action that is performed intentionally or consciously. So I do a deed. A deed is, I see a bum on the street, I hand him $1. That's a deed, right? It could be a good or a bad deed, depending on what he does with that dollar. I know my intention is to do a good deed, right? I did it today. Not to toot my horn, but there's always a bro that hangs out at the CVE Walgreens. If I got change or $1, I always just, he don't even got to ask me no more. I just give it to him. I know he wants to ask, but he's probably tired of asking because he always sees us. So he's like, man, I always ask these bros for money. Now my deed is a good deed, I hope, and I can give him the $1. So it's a deed, an intentional doing of something. What you got for reprove?
Reprove. To reprehend. to express disapproval.
Right. They don't want the things that they intentionally do to be disapproved of. You get that, Alexandria? Yeah, they don't want the negative, because why would you disapprove of a person's doing?
Why would you disapprove of someone's doing?
Yeah, something that somebody's doing, why would anybody disapprove of it?
If they don't like it, or if they thought they were doing wrong? What do you?
Why would wisdom?
Oh, why would wisdom?
Why would wisdom disapprove of your doings? Why would the light, like when you go back to that St. John, go back to the St. John. What's that, Jeremiah? Well, she wanted to know what it was, so I want her to answer. Go back to St. John, I believe I want chapter 3 and verse, go to verse 20.
St. John chapter 3 and verse 20.
Go ahead.
For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light.
So think about it. It's already given us the answer. Everyone that doeth evil, everyone whose deeds are evil, right? They hate the light. The light is the wisdom. The light is Christ. Go ahead.
Neither cometh to the light.
So they're not going to come to the light. Go ahead.
Lest his deeds should be reproved.
You get it now? At least that person that's doing evil, their evil deeds would be disapproved of.
Okay.
You get it?
So they don't want to come into the light because their deeds are going to be disapproved.
Right.
Okay.
Because why? It says everyone that doeth evil, because they're doing evil. They're doing the evil deeds.
Fine.
They don't want it to be told. They don't want to be told nothing.
Right. Okay.
It's like they don't want to be told nothing. Think about it. What you got to say?
I was gonna say like eating pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
And they don't want to tell nobody that they know pepperoni is pork.
Yeah.
But they don't want to tell nobody that they eating pepperoni pizza.
Right.
Because they're like, hey brother or hey sister, you know that's pork, right?
Right. Yeah. They don't want it. They don't. It's like I'm gonna go eat this in the corner, or I'm gonna pull off the pepperoni so just to get the flavor on the grease.
Right.
Come on, man. We gotta stop. But they don't tell you that. They're like, yeah, it was cheese. And you're like, well, if you pull the pepperonis off, you're still getting that bacon grease, and you're still eating it. Mm-hmm. They hide. Think about it. They hide. So, we gotta see what is making people hide from actually owning up to their problems. Why? Because they don't want it to be brought out. They don't want to change. That's the main. What's that, Ray?
Ecclesiastes, it says that since an evil work is not executed speedily, it's on the hearts of the sons of men to continually do wicked.
Oh, because judgment is not executed expediently. Yeah. Well, yeah, they're not getting checked. Well, that goes into something else. But the reason why they don't want to own up to their problems, the main thing is this: because they don't want to change. That's the main thing. They don't want to change their doings. They don't want to change the evil thinking. They don't want to change the. You got people that what you got? You got optimists and you got pessimists. And I forget the difference between, an optimist believes that everything is going to be all right. Right? They believe that, is it an optimist? No, am I wrong?
Yeah, optimists are positive, yeah.
Yeah, optimists are positive. Yeah, they're optimistical. That's what it is. The optimism is that everything is going to be good. A pessimist, they're a pest. They're like, man, they can't find the silver lining in anything. Nothing's going to be all right. Whatever happens, they're lacking faith. Right? An optimist has faith. They have optimism. A pessimist is more like, yeah, I see what you're saying, but all this bad, they see the good, but then they have to point out all the bad before they even try. Sister Mary.
They want to keep their own belief.
They want to keep their own belief. Right. They don't want to change.
They see the light, but they're in the dark and they try to put you in the dark.
Right. They see the light, but they don't want to go in there, and they try to pull you in.
John.
What were you going to say, Abiyar?
I was going to say, just like when we send scouts out into the promised land.
Right.
those 8 that came back with the bad report, they were pessimists.
Right. They're like,
It was like, yeah, it's a good land, but, they got giants.
Yeah,
they this big.
Right. And we ain't going to be able to fight them. And because why? They're not looking at, I didn't see those comments. I heard it. Bible verses, prayer, sickness, separate. How can I do this beautiful way? Excluded artists. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get to your question. I didn't forget about you. What was I saying? Yeah, they don't want to change, man. They're not being. They don't want to be. They don't want to step into that optimism role. They want to stay in that pessimist. Right? They don't want to change from a pessimist to an optimist. Because a pessimist is really what? What is that? What does that boil down to?
Man, it's an irritating person.
It is, but it's faithlessness. They're faithless. At the end of the day, it's like you ain't got no faith. You see the good. The scriptures say where good is, evil is also present with me. So that's a given. That has to happen. It has to happen. Paul said, I find in a law. Right? I find in a law where good is, evil is also present with me. That's in Romans. Right? So we know that has to happen. That has to be the case. That is the balance of things. But see, a pessimist is like, well, I'm just going to look at the evil. I know the good is there, but I'm going to deal with the evil. Optimist is like, shit, I don't care what's going on. Let's get it. Let's make it happen. It's going to happen. If it didn't happen, it's gonna. If it's gonna, it's going to keep. But see, that pessimist, they don't want to change from that mind state. They don't want to change. They don't want to put off the old man, put on the new. Right? They don't want to get rid of the pride, the anger. It's like they want to be frustrated. Y'all understand?
Gone.
So far?
Gone.
So we know pride, anger. I got a few of these down. Go to Colossians 3 and 9. Because we gotta see what this person doesn't want to put on and what they want to keep.
Gone.
Because that change requires something. You got to do something.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 9.
Another one that we pull a lot. Go ahead.
Lie not one to another.
Yeah, they don't want to stop lying to themselves. For one, and in not acknowledging your problem, you're lying to yourself. They don't want to stop lying to themselves like, yeah, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. There isn't a problem, there isn't a problem.
Right.
How's the Bible going to work for you if you don't realize that there is a problem, that there is an issue? It said, lie not one to another. Go ahead.
Seeing that you have put off the old man.
Right, because there is a change that's required. You got to put off that old man. You got to actually get your butt in gear and put off the old man. Go ahead with what? Read.
With his deed.
With his what?
His deed.
Of something. They don't want to change into that optimistic, faithful person. So what do? I don't got a problem. And they leave it at that when they know damn well they get burnt up inside. They get tore up inside. Right? But they don't want to change from their way of thinking. They don't want to change from their way of thinking and doing things. So, we got to understand. So, you could do little bullet points like I did. First of all, you got to first see that there's a problem. You got to see that you have the problem. You're coming from the lack of wanting to change. You're coming from the lack of wanting to change the way you do things, changing your deeds. Right? They have that lack of faith. They want to trust. I mean, think about it. They want to trust in their own selves, right? They want to trust that, okay, even if they do take the step and say, I have a problem. Now, what's another issue that they do? Let's say a person says, yeah, okay, I do have a problem. A lot of people do what? Instead of going to the Bible, what do?
Try to fix it themselves.
They try to fix it themselves. They go to other people, right? What else? What else do they do?
I want to extend on what the sister said.
Yeah.
When they go to other people, they don't go to other people who are living morally or righteously. They want to go get their advice from people in the world.
Right, they get that terrible advice, right? They get that bad counsel. Go to Proverbs. Go to Proverbs 3 and 4. They get the understanding of the world.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 4.
They get the meme advice, right? They go, oh, I gotta go look at these memes. These memes got the answer, right? They go to their grandma. They got a problem with their man. They go to their grandma that been married 50 times for how to get man advice. You go to your how you gonna go to your auntie that got a problem with? First of all, how you gonna go to your auntie that's a lesbian for men advice, for advice with your husband? She's a lesbian. She don't care about no man. That's one. And then you're going to be like, oh, the Bible don't work. But you didn't go to the source. What's that, Christian? Oh, I thought you had a question. Yeah, how you going to go to your auntie? How you going to go to your grandma that been married 5 times? How you going to go to your dad about woman advice when he just be beating up every girlfriend he got? He a pimp and a crackhead, but you going to him for advice. Does that make sense? How you gonna go to yourself that's never maintained a good relationship and think that you know how to handle a relationship? You've never ever had a successful relationship in your life. But you're gonna lean on your own understanding to how a relationship should be. Brothers give you counsel on your relationship and it's like, no, I'm just doing my way out because I got the key. I got the answers. I'm gonna just bet her down and that's gonna be the answer. Sex is not the answer. Making sweet Hebrew love till early in the morning ain't gonna fix your problems with your rib. Making love in Hebrew face to face, it ain't gonna fix your problems. We gotta go to the source. But we gotta understand one thing. Go to Proverbs 3 and verse 4.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 4. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man.
See, this is how you find favor with the Most High. This is how you get your problem solved when you have it. Because that's favor, right? When it's like, I'm dealing with an issue and the Most High puts that favor, he shows that favor to you, where he takes you out your issue. This is how when you're having an issue and you deal with the Most High accordingly, he might send a man to fix your problem. Damn, I just broke down on the highway. Well, I could send a group text and get somebody over. I could just walk. I could be prideful as hell and not hit nobody up and walk. Brother, I'm using simple or simple. Hour drive. You know, I use that because it's like, you're like, man, where's your level of pride at? Where's your level of communication at where you don't want to hit somebody up? But you see, that's that old person. That's that old man that don't want to change.
Trust in the Lord with all, lean not unto thine own understanding.
You got to take your stupid, filthy, evil way of doing things out the equation. Obviously, your way is garbage. You're a 30-year-old woman. Your way of doing things out the equation. Put on a dress. You know, take off the spaghetti strap tube tops and the booty shorts. Put on a dress. Present yourself. Steps to everything. Me, right? He said, read it again. He said, trust in the Lord with all your heart. The heart is the mind. You got to give your heart, you got to give your mind to the Most High. Right? And lean on to that understanding. Go ahead.
In all thy ways acknowledge him.
Wait, acknowledge yourself?
In all thy ways acknowledge him.
Oh, that was me that solved that problem.
Acknowledge him.
You got to acknowledge the Most High. See, this is how you find that favor. This is how you get those problems solved. This is how you get things in your life worked out. See, we love to give. It's like, man, you get a bonus at your job, and you're like, I did that. No, you didn't. That was the Most High. That was a bonus. He hooked you up. But see, we don't like to acknowledge it. Right. We don't acknowledge, there'll be little things, man, that the Most High is like, just give me the credit. Give me the credit, and we'll be all good. Moses, right? Go ahead. What's up?
This more like a testimony than a question. I know since I came to the truth and fellowship with brothers, like the Most High be doing more for me. And then just like recently, everybody know, like I was just testifying to y'all, like how my car used to, before I get to school, I might stop by 20 times and cut it off and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So since I've been doing yoga and everything, you know, my car been riding good, right?
Right.
So today, I got out of order today. Right. And I went against the grain. And the Most High punished me like immediately. Because as soon as I left, I couldn't call no brothers, I couldn't call no sisters, I couldn't call my
Oh, with your phone, right?
Right, I couldn't call nobody. So then I said, okay, I acknowledged my problem, what I had did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I still went on ahead, even though I was trying to run away like Jonah, I still went on ahead and made it to Nineveh for the day. You know what I'm saying? And
God.
so once I did what the Most High had for me to do, you know what I'm saying, the devil tried to come back in, yeah, I got your phone, but I didn't pin it. I went to the place and I had the phone I was using, I had a previous account where I had a deal. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, they're gonna have to try to make me buy another phone. But the guy was like, hey man, just take the SIM card, put it in your old phone, and you good. So I ended up gonna have to spend nothing. But this phone literally didn't work at all. That's why I got cracked up.
Yeah, I see that.
It didn't work at all. That's why I ended up getting the other phone at the first. And I know it's the Most High just allowing me to use it.
Yeah, man. But what did you have to do? You had to like take your way because your way of doing things was just like you said, let me do the Jonah thing. Let me just not go where I was supposed to go. Let me not go where the Most High told me. I'm gonna just use my own knowledge, right? But what did you have to come back to? You had to say, nah. Let me follow the wisdom, right? That's what it boils down to. Is like, am I following wisdom or am I not? Am I following foolishness or am I not? So you said, let me follow the wisdom, and what did the Most High do? He bless you. Right, he bless you. It'd be as simple as that. He fixes problems. It'd be simple like that. The problem was the phone. You follow what the Most High said. You got the phone issue worked out to a point where you now have a workable phone. Simple as that. It be happening like that every day. But then guess what? A lot of people will be like, well, that was just coincidence. Nah, you got to acknowledge the Most High in that. Right. You got to acknowledge the Most High in that. But a lot of us don't give the acknowledgement to the Most High for some of the most simple things. Where you at?
Proverbs chapter 3,
right.
verse 6.
So in leaning to our own understanding, and we said it earlier, we go to the help. What's up?
I was going to ask you, did you want that Moses striking the rock twice?
Oh, you can read it. Yeah, you can read it. Because this is the problem.
Numbers chapter 20 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
And Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock.
Right.
And he said unto them, Hear now, ye rebels, must we fetch water out of this rock?
Right.
And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice.
Let's see, what was Moses supposed to do?
Speak to the rock.
He was supposed to speak to the rock. But what did he do? He said, I'm going to lean onto my own understanding. I'm not going to follow what the Most High wants. I'm going to follow my own heart. Because I think this is what I'm supposed to do. See, he smote the rock twice. Go ahead.
And the water came out abundantly.
Yeah, he got the water, right? He got the result of, he got that immediate result. Go ahead.
And the congregation drank, and their beasts also. Verse 12. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, because ye believe me not, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel.
Go ahead.
Therefore, ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them.
You should not do what?
Bring them into the land which I have given them.
Read back again. Read that verse again.
And the Lord spake unto Moses.
So the Most High told Moses, go ahead.
And Aaron.
Go ahead.
Because ye believe me not.
Yeah, because you didn't do the thing that I told you to do. Speak to the rock. You didn't believe me if I told you if you speak to the rock, you're going to get that water. Go ahead.
to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel.
Yeah, you didn't make me the difference. You see that? You didn't give me the honor. Go ahead.
Therefore, ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them.
Ooh, another problem. You don't make it to the promised land, baby. You see that? So we actually, by not following the Most High and trying to use the scriptures and the wisdom to fix our problems, what do? We create more problems and more issues. Y'all with me so far? From there, go to what's another reason why the Bible doesn't fix our problems. So we know we don't get a chance to acknowledge that there is a problem. We covered that. We got to understand where the problem is coming from, the pride, the anger, right? We covered that. We trust in ourselves more than the Most High. What else? Because when you have a problem, what you supposed to do?
Acknowledge it?
Well, we covered that. We don't acknowledge it.
Okay.
Seek counsel. We supposed to wear at the doorstep for the elders.
What else?
Look for an answer.
Look for an answer. Well, we know the answers are in the scriptures, right? But think about it. The Most High knows every. Oh, that was shy.
Oh, I was going to say, what if you confess whatever problem that you have?
Right. Right. Confess your faults. Right. That's one.
Right.
Not what I'm looking for exactly. Were you gonna say something?
Well, I was.
Damn. What was I gonna say? You said confess. Think about it. The Most High knows all our thoughts. What's that? Go ahead.
Admit that you have a problem?
Well, we covered that when we covered that before you got here. So we know we got to admit that there's a problem. The first problem in problem solving is knowing there's a problem.
Finding a solution.
The Most High knows the Most High knows our every thoughts, right? Y'all believe that or no?
God.
He knows our thoughts, so he knows what we have need of, right?
God.
But what did he tell us to do?
Seek ye first, Matthew 6:34.
But he told us we have to ask.
Right.
We got to pray to the Most High, right? But see, one of the problems is some of us pray, but we pray for the wrong things. Go to James 4:3. This is why the Bible don't solve your problems.
James chapter 4 and verse 3.
I need to read up. Go ahead. Let's wait for him to get it.
You want 2 first?
Yeah, James chapter. Like not. Let me see. No, I don't want 3 first. I want 3 first. Go ahead.
James chapter 4 and verse 3. Ye ask and receive not.
See, you ask, but you receive not. You ask the Most High to, dear Lord, how about Shem Shai? Hear my prayers, hear my cries, fix me, right? Fix my problem, heal me and my husband, our issues, my health, whatever the problem is. We ask the Most High, right?
God.
We ask. When they say we ask and we receive not, why do we not receive? Bree, why do you think when we ask the Most High for our problems to be helped, we don't receive things? What do you think?
Because probably not putting in the work too.
Probably not putting in the work, right? What do you think, Ray?
Because you're not using it for God's purpose.
Yeah, because the things that we ask for, we might not be using it for the correct purpose, right? And that's, a lot of times, that's what it is. You have a problem because, for one, you're not doing the methods that you need. You're not using the methods that you need to use to fix your problem, and then when you ask for your problem to be fixed, it's because why? It's some carnal thing. You get that? You got your thinking.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you like you're thinking about something. What's up?
Oh, neither here nor there.
No, there. It's either neither here nor there. Read on. He said, ye ask and you receive not. Go ahead.
Ye ask amiss.
Why? Because you got that pessimistic mind state. You don't have an optimistic mind state of, when I ask for this, it's going to happen. And the things that I'm asking for are for a good use. You got that pessimistic mind state like, Lord, I know you might maybe be able to do this, so I'm asking if you can do this. Help me, fix me, heal me, get me pregnant, whatever it may be. You ask in a pessimistic, like, I know it can happen, but I don't believe it. But if it does, great. If it don't matter. Right?
God.
You ask, but you don't receive. Right? Go ahead. Because you ask amiss. The way you're asking, it's like, come on. You don't ask with any faith. You don't ask with any conviction. You see that?
God.
Go ahead.
That ye may consume it upon your lust.
Yeah, because you're asking for things that only you can use. The things that you ask for is only for your benefit. The problems you want solved are only your problems. You're not looking at the things of others and saying, how can we solve the problems of Israel? You're looking at your own household. You're looking at your own mind. What you got? You got something?
God.
Go ahead.
I was thinking, you know, where it says, well, Christ, Yahweh Shai says, you know, I always do what pleases my Father.
Yeah.
Because he's not doing his own will, and everything that he's doing is working out according to the way he does it, because it's not his will.
Right. That's why when Christ asked, what happened? He didn't ask amiss.
No, he gets it.
He got it. Right?
God.
When Solomon, think about it, what did Solomon pray for?
Wisdom.
Did he not get it?
He got it.
Did he pray amiss?
Wow.
No. Was his prayer amiss? No. See, and real quick, there was a question online about prayer. I'm going to just go into it since we're on this point. There was a prayer online, a question online. I believe it's a brother, he asked, can Satan intercept your prayers? Hell yeah. They won't even, Satan ain't even got to intercept them. When you pray, they don't even get there. Because of a few reasons. So this is for the, I hope it's a bro, I think it's a bro. I'm just looking at the fault. Well, excluded artists. It says, Bible advises prayer. Does Satan intercept prayers? How can this be avoided? It's showing you right here. When you ask the Most High for something, don't do it out of a lustful reason. Okay? The Most High said, go to Psalms 141 and 2. We're gonna deal with this prayer real quick. So the scripture in James chapter 4 and verse 2 say, ye lust and you have not. Ye kill and you desire to have and cannot obtain. No, excuse me, verse 3. Ye ask and you receive not, because you ask amiss. Yeah, the things you're asking the Most High for, it ain't hitting the target. Why? Because it's something that you want to consume on your own lust. So guess what? Sister Mary, what you got?
You want to use it.
You want to use it. Yeah, you want to use it for your own benefit. Yeah. It's almost like you want to use the Most High. Like, I'm going to use him to just get stuff.
Like he's a genie.
Like he's a, yeah, I'm going to just bow 3 times and all of a sudden I got a car. Like, what the hell? I'm going to pop up 3 times on my pillow and pray, and I'm going to get a brand new house and a fat bank account.
Right.
Listen, I ain't going to lie. I remember as a kid I used to pray for money and stuff. As a kid, I didn't know no better. I thought that's what you were supposed to do. I thought you prayed to the Most High for things and he gave it to you. I didn't have no, I was a kid. You know, when you're a kid, you pray for that. But you got some grown-ass adults, some grown males, grown females, adult males and females, right, that literally pray for money. They pray for money. They pray for a vehicle. Listen, if we in here praying for a vehicle, it's because we need that vehicle to go do the damn work. Because we down to 0 vehicles. And it's like, Yahweh sent us a vehicle so we can get about. And even then, it's like, We just gonna have to walk, take the bus, whatever. Pray that the bus is on time. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the vehicle don't stop the work. You know, if we pray for anything carnal, it's because we know we're taking that carnal thing and flipping it into what? Something that's going to be spiritually benefiting. If we're praying for money, it's for what? So we can go make it rain in a strip club? Hell no. We got to keep the damn lights on. Keep the internet going so y'all can get taught. Right? Have a place for brothers to get to congregate. Right? So we know that if we, because we do pray for the carnal things. We pray for health. That's carnal. What's wrong with praying for health? Unless you're praying for your health so you can go, so you got the strength of 10 men to go deal with all the women. I got to, Yahweh make my back strong. Take away the feeble knees so I can be a bedroom gangster. You know what I'm saying? You got bros that pray for that.
God.
Because why? They're praying for things for their own lust. Yahweh, give me that brand new car so when I pull up on these Negroes in the club, they see me shining. The hell? What about Yahweh give us a vehicle that runs so that we ain't got to have to worry about that so we can get to the business? So that we can have a car for the camp in case somebody don't have a ride. That's what we do, you know? So he said you read verse 3 one more time. So when you ask the Most High, you ask for the wrong things.
James chapter 4, verse 3.
Go ahead.
Ye ask,
right,
and receive not.
Yeah, but you asked the Most High, but you didn't receive. Why? Go ahead.
Because ye ask amiss.
Right, your prayer missed. Oops, missed the target. Go ahead.
That ye may consume it upon your own lust.
Right, because your prayer is about your own lust. So you got to remember, you want the Most High to get your prayers? You got to make sure that your prayers aren't just focused on your own lustful consumption. Go to verse 2 real quick.
Verse 2.
Uh-huh.
Ye lust.
See, because you're lusting, but this is the problem. Go ahead.
And have not.
How you going to be a lustful ass person about everything but don't have nothing? The Most High is not going to send you nothing. It's a cycle. You ask, but you don't have it, but you continue to want it, and so you can get it. But you ask in a miss. Go ahead.
Ye kill.
Go
and
ahead.
Desire to have.
Yeah, you don't take care of anything, but you want to have everything. Go ahead.
And have not and cannot obtain.
You can't obtain. The Most High is not going to give you anything because everything you put your hands to, everything you prayed for and did get, what happened? You destroyed it. You destroyed it, man. The works of your hands are evil. Go ahead.
Ye fight and war.
Go ahead.
Ye have not.
Yeah, you fight. You fighting and warring. You got fights and wars in your house. Go ahead.
Because ye ask not.
Right, but instead of asking the Most High to, make my household peaceful. Give me peace with a brother.
Give me peace.
Give me peace with my brothers and sisters and the men around me. You don't ask for that. That's why you don't have it. But you asking for a car with the pokers, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You asking for a vehicle with pokers? I'm in Texas, so I got to say that. It's a thing that I just really despise. I despise pokers.
Elbows.
Right?
Elbows.
What are they?
Elbows.
Pokers. Yeah.
Poker, I was calling them pokers.
Pokers, yeah, that's a Texas thing. Some swangers. You asking for the Cadillac with some swangers. But you got wars in your house and you ain't asking for the Most High to tame those wars and put everybody at peace. So you gotta, yes, your prayers don't even have to be intercepted. They just won't even go. Most High ain't hearing them because of the things that you asked for. Go to Psalms 141 and 2. Because the Most High does say this. Read. About our prayers. Go ahead.
Psalms chapter 141 verse 2. Let my prayers be set forth before thee as incense, and the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice.
You see that? So the prayers go up to the Most High as incense. Right? They're going to go there if you're praying for the right things. When Solomon prayed for the wisdom, Most High heard him. When Rebecca entreated the Most High when she was barren, didn't the Most High not hear it? He said he was entreated of her. Did she just walk to the Most High? No, she prayed. You see that? She prayed to the Most High. Why am I barren? Like, take that barren away from me. Take that empty belly away. When the children were fighting in her, what did she do? She prayed to the Most High again. He gave her the answer because she was praying out of something righteous. Now go to Proverbs 28:9, because this is what you got to understand about your prayers. This is why the Most High don't hear your prayer.
Proverbs chapter 28, verse 9.
Or if you want to call it an interception by Satan. Read.
He that turneth away his ear from hearing.
Go ahead.
Hearing the law.
See this? This is how your prayers are intercepted. You turn your ear away from the hearing the law. So if you're not hearing it, that means you're not what? You're not doing it, right?
No.
Be hearers of the word and not doers only. So if you hear something, you're supposed to hear it and do it. But if you're not even hearing it, you can't even do it. So he said, he that turneth his ear away from hearing the law, go ahead.
Even his prayers shall be an abomination.
Even what?
Even his prayers shall be an abomination.
Yeah, your prayers are an abomination. It's like you praying to the Most High is a wicked and disgusting act towards him. He's like, man, I ain't hearing that. So you got to understand that you got to be trying to keep the law to your best of the ability. You got to try to, if you got to keep the dietary laws, ceremonial, civil, right? We don't do sacrifice, that's done away with. Moral laws. You got to learn you got to get it in the book and learn how to deal with your brother, deal with your sister. So yes, your prayers can be intercepted or blocked if you're not following the law. Because if you're following the law, then what happens? You're not doing things out of your lust, right? So now when you ask, you're not asking amiss. Your prayers hit the target. They hit the Most High's ears. They go up in his nose like that sweet incense, right? Think about incense when you smell it. You're like, damn, that's good. Most High hear that prayer, that deep, what's the word I'm looking for? When you, yeah, how come I can't think? That sincere, moaning, you begging the Most High, that goes up. He's like, man, that was a wonderful prayer. I'm going to grant that. I'm going to give that brother what he wants. And he's keeping the law. He's rocking them fringes. Man, he had a problem with his brother. He followed the scriptures. He's dealing with his wife right, according to the Bible. He's raising his kids right. Yeah, I got him. But this nigga over here praying for cars, money, hoes, and clothes. He want to pray to be a movie star. He's praying to have a strong back so he can be the, you know what I'm saying? You praying for all the endowments, but not the endowments of wisdom. Like Yahweh, I pray for 8 hours I pray for it to be 8 hours strong in the bedroom. What the hell? Not time for that.
Right.
Sister Mary.
You do business with him. You do strictly business with him, and he do business with you.
Yeah.
Serious business.
Yeah, you're right. It got to be business, right?
That's right. When you go somewhere and do business, that's how you do business with him. And he'll surely do business with you.
That's right. The scriptures say the Most High is nigh to them that are nigh to him. He's close to them that are close to him. How do you get close to the Most High? You got to keep his law. Because think about it. How did we stray away from the Most High? We broke the laws, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how the Most High kicked us away. So to get into the Most High's grace, you got to be trying to keep that law. Dealing with your brother and sister right, your kids, your family. What's that?
I was going to ask, in that praying and it being amiss. But if your prayer is sincere in doing the work and being in line with the Most High, would this what Christ prayed in Luke 22 and verse 42.
Read it.
Okay.
I know where you're going.
Luke chapter 22, verse 42.
Go ahead.
This is Yahweh speaking, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me.
Right.
Nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done.
Right. See that the key point again? Read that end part. Not my will.
Not my will.
What was Christ? Because what was Christ asking? What was Christ saying there?
He wanted the cup to be removed.
Right, because that was his will.
Come.
Right? But he said, don't do it according to my will, because Christ was like, I don't want to die. He knew he had to.
Come.
But he was like, man, listen, if this can be prevented according to your will, please prevent it.
Come.
But guess what? According to the Most High's will, it couldn't be prevented. Christ had to die. So, some things, it's all according to the Most High's will regardless.
Come.
Right?
Come.
So, we got to look at it like that. If it's according to the Most High's will and we get it, it was according to his will. If we don't, it's not in his will. It's not according to plan. Because let's be honest. You got people out there that pray for stuff and get it.
Go on.
Yeah. They pray for whatever they want. You got people, it's, you know, because the wicked get blessed too. They have to. It is their time. Psalm 70. And showing how they get blessed, how they never have an end. They're fat and flourishing. They get everything they want. Right? So it's their time. So yeah, you know, but it ain't the Most High giving it to them. But the majority of people that praying for something wicked ain't getting it. Because the majority of our people are wicked as hell and they broke.
God.
They broke, they ain't got no, they ain't praying for dime bags. That just comes to them in their wickedness. They ain't praying for crack.
God.
But it's there. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you, if they start keeping the law and pray to the Most High to get them out the crack house, what'll happen? What would happen? They'd probably be getting out the crack house.
They won't be able to purchase any more crack. They won't be able to find it for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason the crack man just disappears, right?
Right.
You start keeping the law, and then you start praying and doing everything. All of a sudden, it's like the crack man don't even want to look at you. But then he might come back around to tempt you. To see where you at a little bit later. So you see how it works?
Yeah, like once the spirits get
cleaned out. Yeah, once the spirits get cleaned out, then all of a sudden here come, you got a dime bag of crack. You hop out your car at the gas station, they go, "Dang, you got a dime bag of weed on the floor." Like, where the hell did that come from? Because now you got to be tempted with the things that you were into. So yeah, with Christ, yeah, we know what Christ. We know that, man. Come on, but even Christ understood that he had to. That's why he came back and said, not according to my will, but your will. So no matter what, he always submitted to the will of the Most High. Because did Christ have thought? Did he have thinking of his own? Was he a robot? Right. But did he know how to order his thinking with the Most High? That was a perfect example of him ordering, taking his thoughts as his own individual man that he was, and saying, listen, here's my thinking. But Yahweh, your thinking supersedes my thinking. So let your thinking take precedent. But if our thinkings align, then guess what? The cup will be passed from me. But since their thinking didn't align at that moment, he had to be sacrificed. So, but did the Most High hear his prayer? He just did it because no matter what, it was already set up that this was going to happen, regardless. Could the Most High, let's be real, could the Most High have been like, listen, man, get him off the cross, we're going to just send the angels, destroy the earth. Could Christ have done that? He could have done that. He could have called the angels down. He could have called legions of angels and just destroyed this place. But then what would have been the purpose? What would have been the point of going through all the stuff he went through? And Israel going through all that suffering? It would have took away from the validity. It would have took away from what we had to see. You know, so, yeah. Christ wasn't, obviously he kept the law, he did all that. You know? Shalom. But the thing was, Christ definitely wasn't trying to consume anything on his lust. He wasn't about his own lust. He was just saying, listen, man, if it can be prevented, if there's some other way, he was basically saying, if there's another way to get around me having to die, let's do it that way. But the Most High was showing him like, nah, bro, there is no other way. No, my son. There is no other way.
You know the way.
Right? Where we at? So when we talking about, we going into the prayer, where problems ain't solved because of the things that you ask the Most High for. And then somebody had a question online saying, does Satan intercept or block prayers? Yeah. Satan, through your lack of keeping the law, through your lack of wanting to understand and hear the law, yes, he acts as that blocker of your prayers. Your prayers will not go to the Most High. He will not grant you your 70 virgins and a mansion because the things that you ask for and because you're not keeping what he laid down to be righteous, to be holy. Think about it. You an adulterous murderer, but you praying for riches? Why would the Most High grant you that? You're a man whore, but you praying to the Most High for more women? Come on, man. You should be praying to like not be a man whore. You know? Where we at? We at.
I was at in the Luke and going.
We went to the Luke.
Proverbs.
So yeah, hopefully that answers your question about the prayers. Yeah, the Most High will not hear your prayers if you're not keeping the law. If you're asking for things out of your own lust, he will not hear your prayers. Jumping back to the topic. So the thing is, our problems don't get fixed because why? We ask for the wrong type of help. Right? Our help, the things that we ask for are wrong. Go to Isaiah 30 and verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Woe to the rebellious children.
See, your problems don't get fixed because you're rebellious as hell. You're rebellious against the Most High. You're rebellious against the way and the order that things should be done in. So the Most High said, destruction to you. That's what woe, destruction. I'm going to let all your problems consume you. I'm not hearing that because you're rebellious. Go ahead.
Said the Lord that take counsel, but not of me.
See, you take the counsel, but not of the Most High. You go seek every other knowledge. You ask for the help from your grandma, your uncle, your daddy. Like I said, you're gonna go ask your daddy for relationship advice. He's been married 8 times. He got 12 kids with 12 different women. He ain't raised a kid. He ain't even raised you, but you gonna ask him for relationship advice? Nah, you need to go to the ultimate relationship advice. You need to get into Ecclesiasticus and learn about wicked women, wicked men, right? So you take counsel, but not of the Most High. Go ahead.
And that cover with a covering.
Yeah, you cover with all these other knowledges. You cover with all the other things of the world. You try to cover your problems with all the knowledge. Oh, I'm a Muslim now. Oh, I'm gonna use Cosmopolitan magazine to fix my problems. I got relationship issues. I'm gonna go to the Cosmo. And you go to the relationship advice section of all the you got people giving relationship advice and they all single nerds. How are you gonna give relationship advice if they all never been in a relationship? You taking all the wrong counsel. You covering your problems with all the wrong covering, with all the wrong wisdom. Y'all with me? Read on.
But not of my spirit.
But see, this ain't through the spirit of the Most High. You're not going back into that wisdom and letting wisdom work all things and heal you. You leaning on to the herb. I got a problem. I gotta go home and smoke one. Man, where my L at? I gotta go smoke one. Why you smoke so much? Man, it relieves my problems. Does it?
Nah.
Or does it just make you dumb as hell to think that your problems are gone? And as soon as you're not high, the problem is still there. That's why the Most High said, woe to you. You're rebellious. You think that a plant is going to solve your problem? Alcohol is going to solve your problem? Dr. Phil is going to give you some real advice to solve your relationship problems?
Right.
No, because why? They're not of the Spirit. Dr. Phil ain't using the Spirit. You got to go get counsel, the real counsel, that hearty counsel. That's going to make you think and evaluate and examine and show you that, yeah, you got a problem. Let's fix it. This is how. Here's the method. Here's the guidebook. But instead, we want to hear smooth sayings. We want to hear, it's going to be all right, baby. We want to hear, oh yeah, just dump that dude. You can find somebody else better. There's plenty of fish in the sea. We want to hear crap like that. We don't want to hear that, man. What you sister come with a problem? Yeah, my husband, he's looking for all these other women, and I don't want to deal with that. But sis, why would he have to look for another woman? What are you doing? How's your household? Are you being that wife that you should be? Not saying that if a bro wife ain't living up to standard, he needs to go search for another wife. Not saying that. But you do have instances. Right?
God.
It happens. It happens. That woman ain't living up to par. She's not doing what she has to do, and then she wants to complain. Don't complain. Figure out your problem. Don't complain about the fact that it's happening. Figure out, what am I doing wrong? Get into the wisdom and figure out, how can I be better? Then there won't have to be any substitutes. Read on.
That they may add sin to sin.
You see that? So now you went to the wrong counselor. You listened to the wrong information and advice. Right? You let the weed, the alcohol, you let that drown your judgment. So then now what happens? You add problem to problem. You got a beef with your husband. You go to grandma, she tells you to leave him, but you got 5 kids. You leave him. You didn't think about, damn, where was I going to go? Oh, I'm going to just go to my sister's house for a day or two. Not thinking like, oh, I got to live more than a day or two. I got to worry about my 5 kids and the rest of their life. You leave, you get into a problem with them, you get kicked out, now you got nowhere to go. You and your 5 kids homeless. It's like simple thinking like that. Like, you don't think the future. Now you got problem upon problem. Problem upon problem. You got a problem at work, you roll up a blunt in the car, you smoke it, you drive, you get pulled over. Now you got a problem at work, now you got a problem with the law. Now you got a problem that you probably can't get to work because now you're arrested. Because instead of taking the counsel of, yeah, agree with the adversary quickly, or anger rests in the bosom of a fool, or hit up a brother or a sister that's using the wisdom and get counsel. You took on your own counsel. You lead to your own understanding. And what happens? Now you got another problem that you could have avoided. And then you use the excuse, oh, the Bible didn't solve my problems. It's because you didn't even use it. You didn't apply it. Read on.
Verse 2.
Go ahead.
That walk to go down into Egypt.
Yeah, woe to those children that walk to go down to Egypt. You think about it. What does Egypt represent?
Bondage.
Bondage, slavery. What happened in Egypt? Why does it say walk into Egypt? What do y'all think? What happened in Egypt when we were in Egypt?
Slavery.
Say it again?
Slavery.
Slavery, right? What else? What were they doing?
Worshiping other gods.
Yeah, they were doing everything that was against the Most High. They were doing everything that was against what the Most High wanted.
Yeah.
Right? So he was saying, you're going into Egypt. You're going into their ways of doing things. Right? Go ahead.
And have not as at my mouth.
But you didn't ask the Most High how he wants you to do it. You're going to go to the enemy. You're going to go to the wicked way of doing things and not the righteous way. Because Egypt is what? Representative of what? All the homosexuality. All the bestiality. All the negative. All the wickedness. All the slavery and bondage. You're going to go back into the slave niggas' way of doing things and not the free man's way of doing things. Think about that. You're just going to go be a coon and a slave in your mentality and not be free in Christ. You're going to be a prisoner to you're going to be a prisoner to the nations and not be a prisoner of Christ. So you walk into Egypt, but you don't ask at the mouth of the Most High. Go ahead.
To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
Yeah, not to strengthen yourself in faith, and get that pride off of you, and in hope, well, you strengthen yourself in the way that Pharaoh did things, because he was rebellious. He didn't believe. He thought that he had the answer. He thought that his way was right. What's that?
Just listening, it sounds like how people want to strengthen themselves in Trump right now.
Yeah, you want to strengthen yourself in the political system of doing things like, I'm going to just believe in Trump.
Make America great
Make
again.
America great again. How? When the Most High is like, America's about to fall.
Gone.
America was never great. How can you make something great again that was always wicked? Just because you didn't see it, don't mean it wasn't there. Everything grows, right?
Gone.
Everything has to start from a seed, right?
Gone.
America wasn't just, it was because it wasn't as wicked as it was now. But America's always been the land of the wicked. It's always had its wicked roots. Like the scriptures say, woe to the city that is established in blood. Right?
Gone.
You find it, kind of butchered it. I destroyed that one, I'm sorry. Let me find it. That was terrible. Right? But this, because was not this nation established on blood?
Come.
Zechariah. Yeah. Right? Let me see. Zechariah. But wasn't this nation not established on the blood of, on the innocent blood of slaves? Right?
Gone.
The innocent blood of the Native Americans? The innocent blood of cats getting shot in the street now. You got a question? Oh, I thought you had your hand up. So think about it. This country always had its wicked origins, its wicked roots. This country was always in the crosshairs of destruction because of the way it was even founded and established. It was founded and established in lies. Did anybody find that one?
You said it's in Zechariah?
Hold on.
I see one in Habakkuk.
Is it Habakkuk? What does it say?
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12.
That might be it. Is it? Go ahead, read.
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
That's it right there. Why did I say, yeah, I'm thinking about something else. Read.
And establish a city by iniquity.
Yeah. This country was established on blood and iniquity. Murder, rape, robbery. Y'all got to do the history. Look up Christopher Columbus. You think all the Native Americans just disappeared? Willingly? He killed them. Half the damn slaves that was coming on boats they're in the damn Atlantic Ocean. If y'all didn't know that. Because they were dying. They died in the ocean, man. To come establish this city on somebody else's blood, sweat, and tears. And iniquities. Go back to Isaiah.
Isaiah chapter.
Are you done?
No.
Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 30. And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Right. You want to trust in the shadow of Egypt. You want to trust in what Egypt represents. You want to trust in the homosexuality, in the bestiality, in the pride, the haughtiness, the I can do what I want when I want, the no order. That's what you want to trust in. I can do battle by myself. I can fix my own problems. I can do me. YOLO. Right? That's what you want to trust in instead of the mouth
of Pharaoh be your shame.
Yeah, therefore, all that wickedness is going to shame you. All the things that you try to put your trust in, that's going to be your shame. Trying to put your trust in a homosexual society, that's going to be your shame and your downfall. Because when it's destroyed, you're going to be like, damn. You're going to be destroyed right along with it. If you join to it, you're gone. It's going to be your shame. You're going to be put to shame. Go ahead.
In the trust of the shadow of Egypt, your confusion.
Yeah, you're going to be confused. You ain't going to know what to believe. you ain't gonna know what to believe because you want to trust in this society. Instead of asking the Most High to solve your problems, you trust in the wrong things. Now you're confused. Now you don't know if she's a man or a woman. You don't know if it's a woman or a man. She looking like a man, but she built like a woman. And then now you want to go deal with her because you ain't following the Most High. And you unveil everything and it's a man. You're like, damn. And they got you on camera, Bobby Valentino. You know what I'm saying? Now they got you on camera. Because why? You want to trust in Egypt. You want to be a damn effeminate little sodomite. You want to run around like you was a girl. You didn't want to be a man. You didn't want to ask the Most High to fix whatever problems you have. You know, it goes across the board, man. Where we at? Isaiah?
God, end up verse 3.
What's another reason why the Most High doesn't fix things for us? So we don't pray for the right things, right? You ask for the wrong help. You trust in your own self. You don't acknowledge your problems. You don't want to be examined. You don't want to examine yourself. What else? What else y'all think? What do you think, Camila? Why does the Most High not? Why does the Bible not fix our problems? We already covered you don't want to acknowledge your problems. We covered you ask or you pray for the wrong things. You want to trust in your own self. You ask for the wrong help. What else? What do you think? You ever hear the expression, Jesus, take the wheel? What do people say? What do people mean when they say that?
Like they had enough.
They had enough, but think about it. If I'm driving, I say, Abayar, take the wheel. What are you taking?
Control.
Taking control. But see, a lot of people don't want to say, Jesus, take the wheel. They're like, nah, nigga, I got it.
Right.
I'm never going to lose. I'm never going to give up control. I want to be controlling in every situation. I have to have a say in everything that happens. See, we don't want to give up control to the Most High and understand when we can't affect our situations any longer. We don't understand that if we keep trying to do for our situations, that we're going to affect our situations negatively. We don't want to let the Most High, we don't want to just pull back and say, literally, Jesus, take the wheel. I hate that saying, because, but it's a good saying if you know what the hell you're saying.
Right.
Right? If you have the method to that saying. It ain't just, I'm in the car driving with Jesus. Where y'all going? To the pub? Where y'all going? Where you and Jesus driving to? You know? He is the car, damn it. He is the motor train. He is the reason why you get anywhere. He always got the wheel. That's what we got to remember. Yahweh Shai always got the wheel. The problem is, he's steering the car straight. Y'all ever watch, oh man. Y'all ever watch the movie, it's Martin. It's called National Security. And you remember the part where they, in the car, the driver's ed car, they're chasing the big red truck, and the car has 2 steering wheels.
Oh, come on.
And he's like, no, let's go this way. Martin is like, no, let's go this way. That's how it is. Christ is like, nah, bro, let's go straight. You're like, nah, let's take a left. And you try to power struggle with Christ and the Most High. It's like, what the hell? How you trying to struggle with the Most High? How you trying to fight for power from the Most High? How are you trying to establish dominance over the Most High and Christ? Why? Because you're ignorant as hell. Because you don't understand the power of the Most High. You don't understand that, guess what? He blinking, he snaps his fingers and you're in the place that you need to be. But you think that I gotta control. I gotta drive the car. Nah, you forgot that you weren't even driving the car in the first place. Most High always had control. But the moment you thought you had that control, that's when you messed up. The moment you thought that the Most High don't control everything, that's where you mess up. That's how your problems don't get fixed. He's like, all right, fine, bro. You want to control everything? Go right ahead. I'm going to let you take the wheel. You ever see the GPS commercials where it's like GPS, go left. And he goes left and it's a dead end? It's the Geico, old Geico commercials, I think, where he's like, I'm your GPS. Turn left now. You turn left and you turn into a car?
Yeah.
That's you. Your GPS is off. When your GPS navigation system is garbage. Because why? You never were a GPS. You never had control. Wow. You just booted it. John, sir. Kick my drink. You never had control. That's the problem. Go to Romans. Go to Romans 10 and 3.
Romans chapter 10 and verse 3.
Somebody look up the definition of ignorant. I love this definition. I've been using it a lot. Read.
Romans chapter 10 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
For they being ignorant of God's righteousness.
So let's stop right there. Somebody give me that definition. Dabashaya.
Lacking knowledge or awareness.
So stop right there. When you read Abiyar, you're going to read it with that definition. Read.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Lacking knowledge or awareness. Go ahead.
For they lacking knowledge or awareness.
So for you lacking the fact that, or the awareness that you never had control in the first place. What did Dom say? You didn't even have your car. He said you never had your car. I almost had you. You never had me. You didn't even have your car. Meaning you never had control. Definition.
Uneducated.
Read, Abiyar.
For they being uneducated.
Yeah, for you being uneducated. What you guys, Zion?
It says uninstructed.
Read it again, Abiyar.
For they being uninstructed.
You weren't instructed. Go ahead.
Unenlightened.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
For they being unenlightened.
Unconscious.
For they being unconscious.
You unconscious. You didn't even understand that you didn't have control of the situation in the first place. So if you don't got control on how to solve your problems, and the Most High does, why not go to the Most High? Why not use his method? But see, we so damn ignorant, unlearned, unconscious, unwise, untaught, that we don't even see that you never had control. The problem was set there for a reason. Read on. Abiyar.
And going about to establish their own righteousness.
Yeah, you're so ignorant. You want to establish your own righteousness. You want to try to take the power from the Most High and say, I got the power. Go ahead.
Have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God.
Yeah, you haven't bowed down and humbled to the righteousness of the Most High. You're not truly letting the Most High steer you to fix your issues. What you got?
Where we at?
Go ahead.
Romans chapter 10 and verse 3.
Read it again.
For they being ignorant of God's righteousness.
Yeah, you're ignorant of the righteousness that the Most High has. You're ignorant of the path that it takes to fix problems. You're ignorant of the method. You're ignorant of why the problem is there anyway, or whatever you deem to be a problem. You're ignorant of why we have issues that we have to go through. Because of your ignorance, go ahead.
And going about to establish their own righteousness.
And trying to establish your own righteousness, go ahead.
Have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High.
Yeah, you haven't gave yourself to the Most High fully. You're still leaning onto your own understanding. You haven't submitted, man. So why the hell would the Most High fix anything for you? Why would the Bible work for you if you haven't submitted to it? How could the Bible fix a problem for you if you have not given yourself to the doing of it? It can't, right? The one thing we got to realize is this. This is the righteousness that the Most High is trying to establish. that problems are always going to be there. Right? Why? Why are problems always going to be there?
It's design. It's design.
That's the design. Because the problems do what? The issues, the strife, or not the strife, the problems, the tribulation. Because it's all the same. What do they do? What are they designed to do?
Exercise your senses.
Exercise what senses?
According to the fruits of the Spirit.
Right, the righteous senses.
Come.
It's designed to make you look at things differently. It's designed to pull certain attributes out of you. Right?
Come.
And it's designed to take certain impurities away from you. The design is to get you to the kingdom. Right?
Come.
Go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 3. We got to remember that the problems have to be there. Where there is good, evil is also present. The problems, the tribulation, the sufferings, they got to be there. But this is the problem. If they're always there, doesn't the Most High always give you a way out?
Done.
Always.
But a lot of us, brothers, sisters, we don't believe that there's a way out through the scriptures. Sisters think that there's a way out by what? I'm going to go back to my parents. That's the way out. I'm going to pack my bags and leave.
Right? I'm going to go back to being a nigga.
I'm going to go back to the old me. No, I'm going to leave, but I'm going to still keep the laws.
No, I'm going to still keep the Sabbath.
I'm going to still keep the Sabbath.
And not eat pork.
And not eat pork. But I'm going to leave, though. Nah, it don't work like that. You might keep that Sabbath for like 2 weeks. Next thing you know, you just all types of things happening. Next thing you know, you eating pork again. You ain't keeping the Sabbath. You sleeping around because you're looking to establish your own way of doing things, and not believing that the Most High is the end all be all. He is the problem. He gave you the problem. He is the solution to your problems through the word, through the wisdom. Read where you at.
1 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 3.
Read.
That no man should be moved by these afflictions.
By what?
By these afflictions.
See, your afflictions ain't supposed to move you. Your afflictions aren't supposed to uproot you. If you're rooted in wisdom, if you're applying the knowledge, your afflictions, your problems ain't supposed to sway you. Go ahead.
For yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto.
Because what?
For they yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto.
Yeah, they're not supposed to move you because you're supposed to know that the afflictions are appointed to you. They're appointed thereunto to you. They're supposed to be there. The problem is supposed to be there. It's there to see how are you going to fix it. Am I going to do things the niggardly way, the old woman way, the old man? Or am I going to be renewed in the knowledge? Am I going to use the spirit, the counsel, the body to help me? Or am I going to do things on my own accord, the way I want? Am I going to run? We got a lot of that going on. What you think you're going to run to? You're going to run to a greater ass whooping. You're going to run to the great ass whoop. They should just make a state of the great ass whooping. That's where you run into, man. Because you're not fixing your problem with wisdom, with knowledge, with understanding, with counsel, with proper counsel, with the proper methods. That's why the Bible ain't working. That's why you think the Bible is this thing that is just, yeah, it works some ways, but it doesn't work in some other ways. It works to lift my spirits and make me happy. Y'all learn who the white man is. I learn who I am.
Cool story, bro.
Cool story, Hanson. Right? Sisters might as well say that, man. Cool story, bro. When your husband is teaching them, you might as well just say that. Cool story, bro, because you don't believe that the Bible is going to work. Because your method of doing things is to run. Let me run from my problem and escape it. You ain't escaping. There is woe to you, you rebellious children. Isaiah 30:1. Read on.
1 Verse 4.
Go ahead.
For verily, when we were with you, we told you before.
Wait,
that
what happened?
When we were with you, we told you.
The Bible did what? It told you, right?
Come.
Brothers told you, right?
Come.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2. When you come to serve the Lord, what?
Prepare yourself for temptation.
Read again.
For verily, when we were with you, we told you.
Go ahead.
Before that we should suffer tribulation.
It was told that you were going to suffer tribulation. You were told you was going to have problems, man. Why didn't you prepare? Why didn't you prepare your mind? Like Ecclesiastes chapter 2 says. Why didn't you prepare for the problems that were going to come upon you? You know why you didn't prepare? Because you was too busy worried about what your husband was doing. You was too busy worried about what this sister was doing, what this brother was doing. You were too busy not acknowledging your own problems and your own faults. You were too busy in denial. You were too busy being ignorant of the fact that, damn, I got issues I got to work out. Let me seek them out and destroy them. You were too busy with the carnal. My house, my car, my dog, my this, my that, my job, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. You were too busy with these things and not saying, damn, let me prepare for this tribulation that brothers say and the Bible says mostly that's going to come upon me. Let me be ahead a year before time, like Paul said. Right? But instead it hits you and it's like, why is me? Why me? Then it's like, damn, that ain't real. Then it's like, you know what? I'm going to just leave. I'm not going to handle it the way the Bible says handle it. I'm just going to dip off. From there, jump to John 6:33. Yeah, we're going to definitely go over, but I'm going to finish this. Go ahead.
John chapter 6 and verse 33.
16 and 33. Salakia. 16 and verse 33.
John chapter 16 and verse 33.
You got any questions online?
Blah.
I hope I answered the brothers or sisters' questions about prayer. Did they comment?
Blah.
Okay. Read.
These things I have spoken unto you.
Go ahead. So Christ already told us. Go ahead.
That in me ye might have peace.
See, this is where you find your peace. A lot of us ain't got peace because we don't damn listen. We don't listen. You don't have peace because you don't listen enough to understand. This is where you find your peace. Read.
In the world ye shall have tribulation.
See, the peace of mind is knowing that it's going to happen. I take peace of mind in knowing that certain things are going to happen. That way it's not a surprise. Because the worst thing is to be surprised with something, right? But the peace of mind is knowing, damn, okay. Like, it's like this. A woman, your wife is pregnant. You got 9 months to prepare. Doesn't that give you some type of peace of mind to say, okay, I'm preparing. I'm able to get the baby clothes, diapers, crib, stroller, all the things the baby needs. But wouldn't it destroy your peace of mind if she was pregnant and had the baby the next day? You'd be like, damn. Ain't no peace of mind in that, knowing that if you get pregnant, you have a baby the next day, you can't prepare. But you get that peace of mind knowing, okay, I got everything for the baby. I have 9 months to prepare. The peace of mind is even destroyed when you had the 9 months and then you still don't prepare. Because you don't really know, if you've never been a parent, how to prepare to be a parent. Right? So there's peace of mind in preparation. Go ahead.
But be of good cheer.
Go ahead.
I have overcome the world.
Read where he said, no, you missed the part. Read where he said the second precept. In the world.
John chapter 16 and verse 33.
Go ahead.
In the world ye shall have tribulation.
See, Christ said it was going to happen. In the world you're going to have tribulation. So why aren't you prepared? That's the real question. Why aren't you using the Bible to prevent some of the tribulations you're going to have? Some you can't prevent. Some tribulations we just can't prevent. Some problems we can't prevent. But some problems we can prevent. You can prevent the arguments in your house. You know what's funny? I can't think about the last time I actually literally like argued with my rib. Like literally like back and forth. Like, do we have our disagreements? Come on. What a straight up blown out argument. I can't remember the last time. Because why? I apply wisdom. I listen, I let her talk. She applies wisdom. She lets me talk. She understands what I'm saying. Then she rebuttals. I listen to what she's saying. I listen to her rebuttal. But then somebody got to come with the actual wisdom. Not saying that I always have the wisdom on everything, but one of us have to come with the wisdom on the situations. One of us has to humble to the wisdom. Sometimes she's right. 99% of the time, I'm right. I'm joking. It's like 98% of the time. But, I'm joking, man. But, it's about humbling to the wisdom. And knowing, how do I prevent an argument? Okay, let me just listen to the wisdom and humble to it. Or I can just be prideful as hell and deny the wisdom and then come up with other ways to where I want to be right. So we can prevent problems before they even happen. Through what? Through the scriptures, through the wisdom. Because wisdom is the worker of all things. That taught me. Right? Solomon 7:22. Wisdom teaches us how to avoid arguments. That's from the Bible. Wisdom teaches us how to avoid going at it with your adversary. Agree with thy adversary quickly. Why? So he don't kill your ass. That's why. So he don't arrest you and haul you off to jail. Read on. You shall have tribulation in the world. Read.
But be of good cheer.
Go ahead.
I have overcome the world.
How did Christ overcome the world? How did he overcome the tribulations? He applied wisdom. Huh? Yeah. Call it. Isaiah 33:6. I'll just quote it. Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and knowledge to be the stability of thy time and strength of thy salvation. He used the wisdom. He used the scriptures. If y'all didn't know, Christ taught from the scriptures. From the Old Testament. Etc.
It is reading Isaiah.
Bro, Christ was quoting back in Genesis. He was quoting things.
He quoted Deuteronomy.
He quoted Deuteronomy. I'm talking about he was quoting instances in Genesis, though. You gotta, bruh. But why? How would you be able to do that? It wasn't there. Where we at? Go from there. Go to Acts chapter 14 and verse 22. This is the one that we use all the time. Acts 14 and 22.
Acts chapter 14 and verse 22.
And Zion, give me 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 4. Read that.
Acts chapter 14 verse 22.
Go ahead.
Confirming the souls of the disciples.
This is how we confirm your soul. Does it say conform? What does it say?
Confirming.
Right. This is how your soul is confirmed. Go ahead.
And exhorting them to continue in the faith.
Why? Go ahead.
That we must.
That we what?
That we must.
My problems, I don't know about those. I don't want to deal with that.
That we must.
Well, if I got a problem, I'm just going to run.
That we must.
Read.
Through much tribulation.
Go ahead.
Enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
Right, because the tribulation confirms your soul to see if you're ready to inherit the kingdom. See, we be having problems, man, and the first thing we want to do is run from it and not understand that the Most High is just testing you to see where do your alliances lie. You gonna rely on the flesh or the spirit? You gonna rely on mommy and daddy? Or you gonna rely on the knowledge? You gonna find comfort through the scriptures, or you gonna comfort yourself with the blunt and a 40 and the first fat booty you see? Where is your comfort gonna be? Where is your problem solving skills gonna lie at? The thing that never worked? You gonna be the insane person that tries to do the thing over and over that never works, expecting a different result? Doing the same thing over and over and trying to get a different result. Come on, man. You ran your whole damn life. It never fixed anything. Read where you at.
2 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 4.
So we got to understand that the problems, the tribulation, yes, Obadiah, you jumped. I know you watching, you jumped early. It's exactly what you said, the tribulation. It prepares us. It deems us worthy to see if we even fit for the kingdom. The tribulation really deems you worthy to see if you're even worthy enough to be around brothers and sisters that are willing to accept their tribulation. You got to really look at that. Because if you're ready to run and you think you're not the only one catching hell, you're not even worthy to stand next to the person that's catching hell and going through it. So you got that, the Most High put that runner spirit on you. That ducker, I'm going to duck and hide and not deal with it. I'm going to avoid it. I'm going to procrastinate. I'm going to procrastinate. Yeah, you don't take a coward to war. His ass going to run. But the whole point is not to be a coward. To recognize that, listen, we man the hell up before time. Let me keep my loins girded all the time. We got to always be girded up. It's a war. It's a constant battle. 24/7, 365. If you're not on defense, you better be on offense. And if you're on defense more times than offense, you lost. You're going to get scored on. Because your defense is going to get worn down. Read.
1 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 4.
Go ahead.
So that we ourselves glory in you in the churches of God for your patience.
See, this is how we glory. We glory in patience. We get glory. We glory when we see a brother going through it, but he's fighting and going through it and not giving up. That's where the glory comes in. Where you get your problem, your tribulation, and you barrel through it. You muscle through it. You duck your head into wisdom. Go ahead.
In faith.
And you use faith and patience. Go ahead.
In all your persecutions.
In all your what?
Persecutions.
You're supposed to solve your problems with what?
Faith.
And what else?
Patience.
I thought we were just supposed to run. You know, black folk, we love to run. We don't care why we run. If I see you run, I'm just going to run. That's our damn problem, man. We are running. We run from everything and think that's going to solve it. Man, I got 5 kids at the house. I don't know how to feed them. I'm going to go get a pack of cigarettes. I see y'all niggas in 30 years. We run. It's terrible. Read that verse again.
Come. For your patience and faith.
Go ahead.
In all your persecutions and tribulations that ye endure.
Read on.
Which is a manifest token.
Go ahead.
Of the righteous judgment of God.
See, this is the manifest token. This is the token of your faith. This is the token that it's like, here's my token to get into the kingdom. You know how you go to the fair and you need tokens for the ride? You don't need those no more. You need tickets. But you get your little token. It's like, this is my pass.
Right.
This is my badge of honor to show that the Most High is righteous. I endured, and now the kingdom is fit for me. But when you run, you don't get that badge. You don't get that token. For you runners,
right.
You duck and hiders.
That's why the scripture says, he that putteth his hand to the plow and looketh back is not fit for the kingdom.
Yeah, he that put his hand to the plow and look back, he's not fit for the kingdom. Why? Because in that work, those problems came up. You plowing that ground. And you're like, damn, this soil right here is kind of rocky. You got rocks and it got sand. You said, man, I can't plow that, I'm out. Mm-hmm. Instead of finding another tool, another way, using wisdom to say, let me get the rocks out. Let me get me a rake, a hard steel rake to rake out the rocks and make the ground plowable.
Right.
But what do? You're like, man, I ain't plowing this ground. That's too hard. I'm out. You run.
The work wasn't done before you got there to do the work. So you
right.
dip it.
So you dip it.
You're coming to work and you're complaining about doing the work, so you dip it.
Or you just say, well, I'm going to just leave the rocks. I'm going to just plow over them. So now when I try to plant something in this Rocky ass ground, the seeds ain't gonna catch. You didn't use wisdom. You can't plant seeds in rocks.
Yeah.
They gotta be in good ground. Read on.
That ye may be counted worthy.
That you may be counted what?
Worthy.
How are you worthy? You gotta do what? Endure through faith and patience. Right?
Come on.
The way you're counted worthy is when you use the wisdom to solve your issues. That's how we're counted worthy. When we take the Bible and apply it to our everyday living and say, okay, I'm going through this problem. What scripture applies to me? I got a negative outlook. To the pure, all things are pure. How does it apply? Well, you know, my husband, he's always working, and he's doing the work of the Most High, so I don't see him a lot. So the pure thing would be to do is, when I see him, I'm going to cherish every moment. Babe, how you doing? What you need? Let's talk. Let's rap. Da-da-da. But that defiled outlook is like, let me argue with this dude. Let me bring up subjects that don't even matter.
Nigga, you've been gone a long time.
You've been like, let me question why he's gone and who he's talking to. See, it's about applying the wisdom. This is where you're found worthy. Read on. Is that it? Go ahead.
That ye may be counted worthy
Go ahead.
of the kingdom of God.
This is how you get into the kingdom. Go ahead.
For which ye also suffer.
You got to suffer for the kingdom. I hope y'all, are y'all seeing this?
Come on.
You got to go through these problems to get the kingdom. It's nothing new. Christ told you. We telling you. The Bible told you. The world tells you.
That's what's so
Everything worth having. What do you say? What do they say in the world? Everything you got to fight for is worth having. There's some dumb saying they use.
Everything worth having is worth fighting for.
It's worth fighting for.
Nothing good comes easy.
Nothing good comes easy. No pain, no gain. Right? The world tells you these things in little stupid little cliches and whatever. But guess what? The Bible told you that first. Through much tribulation you shall enter into the kingdom of the Most High. From there, we got a few minutes. We went over time, but go to our Romans. Go to Romans. Go to Romans 8 and 16. 8 and 16.
Romans chapter 8 and verse 16.
Who got it?
Romans chapter 8 verse 16.
Go ahead.
The Spirit itself bears witness
Go
with
ahead.
our spirit.
So the Spirit is going to bear witness with our spirits. Go ahead.
That we are the children of the Most High.
So the Spirit tells us that we are the children of the Most High. Here's how. Read on.
And if children, then heirs of God, and joint
children are the heirs. When you got a king and he has a son, the son is the heir to the throne, right? We're heirs to the kingdom of the Most High. Read on.
And joint heirs with Christ.
And we're joint heirs with Christ. But how? How did Christ become an heir? Who knows? Without reading forward, without just off what we've been going through. How did Christ become an heir to the kingdom? Go ahead.
Christ had to go through the suffering process.
He had to do what?
Suffering.
He had to go through what?
Suffering.
He had to go through his suffering, his trials, his tribulations, his problems. What did he use to fix his problems?
The scriptures.
Wisdom. The Bible. The devil want to run up on you and tempt you? Here goes some Bible. Here goes some wisdom. Right?
Gone.
Some of that book.
Here, take some of this book. Right?
Gone.
He didn't say, well, nigga, get out of here before I smack you. Or I'm just going to run. Let me just run from the devil. That way I can just not have to deal with it. Devil pop up, command these rocks to turn into bread. Christ just ran off. Nah, he didn't run. Think about that. How dumb is that? But how can we do it? Why do we think that when we got a problem, we got to run, and then we try to say the Bible don't work? How can something work that you're not using? How can something work that you're being ignorant of? That definition of ignorant is just so filthy. You're unconscious of the workings of the righteousness of the Bible. Read on.
God.
You gotta hold your spot, bro. Romans.
If so be that we suffer with him.
So we gotta do what?
Suffer with him.
We gotta go through problems. Read.
Suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together.
Go ahead. Read 18.
Verse 18. For I reckon that the suffering,
the problems, go ahead,
the sufferings of this present time,
go ahead,
are not worthy to be compared.
So this is the thing. You have to go through problems at this present time. It's unavoidable, brothers and sisters. We have to go through things. What's that?
It was powerful because I was talking with Dawiyad about this one time. Because everybody wants to go to heaven. Everybody want to
go to heaven, but nobody want to die.
Nobody want that. Yeah,
right? Want dead. Yeah.
But the scripture says in St. John that no servant is above his master. Right? So we're under Christ, right? So
some of us.
I mean, the people who are doing his work, right?
Yeah.
Who abide by what the Bible says.
The ones that are using the wisdom to solve their issues.
Right.
Yep.
So we're under Christ. So if Christ suffered, that means to follow in Christ's footsteps, we would have to suffer.
That's the only way to be found worthy. See, we got to look at our problems and stop thinking that, like, woe is me.
I was going to say, that's again, it's St. John, it just brought another one, but it's St. John 14:6. Christ said, he told you flat out in his own mouth, he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. That means you have to go through the same trials, tribulations, suffering, persecution that Christ went through. And our warfare is not even carnal anymore.
Right.
We don't have people chasing us down. We don't have to carry a big wooden log up a mountain and then hang from it and then get hit with cat of nine tails. Right? We don't have to catch it like that. We don't have to get rocks thrown at us.
You have not suffered unto blood, striving against sin.
And if you bled when you got a little nick, then bleed off.
What'd you do? Get a splinter carrying the podium?
One time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but see, the point is this. The problems that we think that we're going through for like some destruction, the answer is in the book. That way the problems don't consume you. The problems we gotta realize that the problems have to happen. Once we come to grips and terms with certain things, now it's just a matter of applying the right way.
Right, because when you read the scriptures, the Most High, he's always made a way for you to escape.
Through your temptation, right?
Through the temptation. He's never going to give you something that you can't handle, but you got to seek him to get the answer.
Because basically through your problem is the way to escape.
Exactly.
We got to look at it. Let's break it down like this.
Break it down.
So through your problem, there's a way to escape.
Huh.
Because why? Who brought the problem to you?
Most High.
Because why? Did he want you to die in the problem? No, he used the problem as what? As a tool for you to be tried, to be worthy, and to grow, and to exercise certain attributes, and to be purged, right? So the problem is we gotta look. The problem is we gotta look for the problem. The thing is we have to go to the correct methods to get the problem fixed, to get the solution. But a lot of us don't want to do that. We want to lean on our own understanding. We want to go into our own judgment. Because the issue is not that there's a problem and that the Bible can't fix it. That's not the real thing. We got to go to the deeper issue of how come you weren't prepared for your problem? That's the issue. How come you weren't prepared, and how come you don't understand what the problems do?
It says get that mind to right, constantly endure.
Constantly endure.
Yeah.
Endure what? Endure, oh brother, you're the greatest. Oh, endure the love. That's easy. You have to endure this chastening.
Right. The scripture says not to come together for the good, but for the bad. When everybody's a friend for a season or for their own occasion. Right? But you gotta be fastened in this work, fastened in the love, and still say Barakatah, how about Shemi Hamashai?
In every occasion.
In every damn occasion.
It don't matter. Hot, cold, you up here, you down here, lower state, higher state.
Whether you abound or whether you abase.
But this is the problem. Again, I ask the question. Why do we not understand that the problems have to exist? That's rhetorical. How come we don't understand it? How come when the problems pop up, we act like it's a new thing? We act surprised with the fiery trial that's set to try us. Why? See, the question is not does the Bible work and fix our problems, or how come we're not getting our problems fixed through the scripture? The question is, how come your ass ain't prepared for the problem? How come you're not prepared for the tribulation? How come you didn't set your mind aright when you came to serve the Most High? How come you didn't put your mind in a place to say, damn, I might catch hell today. Let me do the things necessary like study, counsel, humble, listen. How come I didn't do these things to prepare my mind for the battle? Rhetorical question. From there, real quick, did you finish that Romans? Finish that Romans. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to start at the beginning.
For I reckon, go ahead.
Verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
Right, because the sufferings is what revealed the glory. So that's what we got to see. That in the problems, that's where the glory comes. That's where you get your token into heaven. That's where you get your pass, your all access gate pass. But we're gonna end it there, man. Hopefully, what's that, Javier?
Oh, I wanted to see if I could add one.
You definitely can.
Ecclesiastes.
Go ahead.
Chapter 7, verse 8.
Read. In the Bible, right?
In the Bible.
Go ahead.
Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof.
Go ahead.
Was saying, like, you know, in the beginning, you're coming through, and you might not have them kind of problems.
Right.
But as you start to go through these tribulations, and you get that refinement by going through the tribulations. Better are you at the end than at the beginning.
Because think about it. A piece of gold is crappy when you first get it.
Gone.
A piece of gold dug right out the ground looks like any old rock.
Gone.
Looks like a dull mirror. That's the beginning. But then, okay, let's even take it back. Diamonds. They look crappy in the beginning because it's just cold. Cold. The end of a diamond is what? That shiny diamond.
Gone.
And even then, there's more to it. But gold, you plug it out of the earth. It's crappy in the beginning. You get it, you cut it, you melt it, you shine it up, you get out the impurities through a process. And then what? The end of it is beautiful.
Gone.
Now you get your Uzi on the necklace, your name chain, Alexis. Uzi's all kinked up. Oh.
No, I was going to say because you're talking about the gold. It's Ecclesiastes 2:5. It says, "For gold is tried in the fire."
Why? Because when you get that gold, it's filthy, dirty. Nobody thinks that it's even gold.
Right.
Go ahead.
And this is the point. And acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Right.
So
go ahead.
Oh, so you are coming out. You went into the fire worthless. You came in no good, dirty, filthy, untrustworthy, lacking moral good qualities, right? Yeah. But you come out refined.
Butt naked, lame, and destitute, right?
Laying in your own
mire.
In your own mire. That Ezekiel 16.
Yeah.
Come on, man. He found you in your blood with your navel all out, umbilical cord still wrapped around you.
Gone.
Yeah.
Because the beginning of it was filth.
But when you came through it, when you stuck through it, it said acceptable men. You were found acceptable. How are you found acceptable? Because you stuck through the fire. When you look at Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were in the flame, right? It said they were in the flame, and then the fourth one was in there who looked like the Son of Man, right? But then when you read the Apocrypha, you read the prologue or the prayer that they were going through, that they kept thanking the Most High, and they made it out of the flame, unscathed, untouched, unsinged. That's how you're found acceptable men through the furnace of adversity. Because in the midst of the fire, what are you doing? You're looking to your solution. You're looking towards the door where you just walked in at, because that's the same door you're going to come out of. And you come refined. You become beautified in the eyes of the Most High. But it's a time, it's a process, and that's
the thing. You know, when you look at if the issues are our refinement, we got to know that we have to go through it to get better. Why even try to run from it? Why not just accept it and say, look, I know I got to go through things. Let me just try to figure things out beforehand. Why even create the chaos of, oh, I'm going through a problem, I'm going to hide from it, I'm going to run, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm not going to use the wisdom. Why not just submit to the wisdom? Why not? Like, we got to wake the hell up, man. It's simple. It'd be simple, but then it's not simple. Y'all got to understand that the problem is not the problem. The problem is you don't want to go through the problem. The problem is that the problem is not that the Bible doesn't solve issues. The problem is you're not using the Bible to understand that issues have to be there. Problems have to, tribulation, they have to be there to test you. But with that, we got anything online? Listen, you got any questions on that? In here? Anybody? Dr. Shai, you good? Sister Mary, anything? All right, well, since there's nothing online, we definitely thank y'all for joining us. Again, those of you online, if you have anything that you want to, any alms, anything that you want to send, you can send them on that Google Wallet to isbhpk@gmail. You can mail any donations to 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas 77071. If you want to, any money that you want to throw in a bank account for us, ISBHPK at Wells Fargo.
101-580-617.
101-580-6167. That's the account number. You said what?
I was saying it was on the screen.
Oh, it's on, you put it up there? Okay, yeah, the sister put it up there for us. But since there's nothing, no questions in here, no questions online, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.
Midst of righteousness.